Part 100. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 992. The endless sea is deep and secluded, and the sea water is floating up and down, avoiding it like fear. Sci-fi was finally able to see the vortex that swallowed Yewanlin back then. Without the previous horror and gloom, in her opinion, it is the most ordinary vortex. With a wave of her hand, the vortex seemed to be frightened by terror, and with a bang, it dissipated in an instant. After the vortex dissipated, there was a flat land. The entire endless sea was under the consciousness of Sci-fi and Uzion, but they didn't find any breath of life, including soul fragments. Sci-fi's eyes changed. She searched again in disbelief, and finally had to admit a fact. She couldn't find any trace of Yewanlin. Nothing at all. But as long as a person has lived in this world, even if he dies and his soul is gone, he will still become a part of this world. With her and Uzion's cultivation, it takes a lot of effort to strip out this part of the breath that has been integrated with the world. With a few more years of cultivation, it might be possible to gather all the souls again. Brother Ninth. I can't find my sister. Sci-fi raised his head, feeling at a loss in a rare way. How could I not find her? Am I late? She didn't finish the rest of the sentence. She lost control and jumped to the place where the vortex was originally, and began to dig down with her fingers. With Sci-fi's current strength, he is already invulnerable. But she didn't use her strength to protect her hands at all. The blood dripped down her fingertips, staining the black soil red. Ching ching, calm down. Uzion grabbed her wrist and patted her back with the other hand. Her voice was calm. There are no traces, so it is the greatest luck. Sci-fi's body froze, and he raised his head in a daze. Uzion looked at her steadfastly. It proves that she escaped from Endless Sea very early and was not trapped here. These words shook away the fog that shrouded Sci-fi's heart like the roar of a bronze bell, and even burned his nerves. You are right. My sister must have escaped. That's turning the tide at night. Turn the tide. There is nothing in the world that can trap her. But Sci-fi calmed down again. But where can I find her? They also explored the endless sea just now. There is nothing special about this Dead Sea, nor is it a passage to other planets. Now she knows that there are thousands of worlds, parallel worlds, and multiverses. Finding someone in so many worlds is like finding a needle in a haystack. Sci-fi's expression became lonely. She squatted down, hugged her knees, and curled up into a small ball. Sister. Only now did she realize that even though her cultivation has reached the peak level of the cap, there are still things she can't do. She couldn't find Yewanlin. It doesn't matter. Uzion comforted her. Don't worry, take your time, I will accompany you, one by one to find. Okay Sci-fi, if you can't find one, then turn all the worlds upside down. Going up to the poor and falling into the underworld, she has to report to the night to turn the tide and find it back. Sci-fi wiped away his tears. Go to the swamp of death and see if the deer is still there. Ching ching. Uzion put her hands on the ground and said suddenly, here, there are writings. Sci-fi's eyes changed abruptly, and he immediately leaned over to look. The handwriting is very secretive. If it weren't for Uzion, these words carved with a knife might never be discovered. Sci-fi's hands trembled, stroking the dents on the stone. It's my sister. The words Yewanlin left for her. She read the words made up of these words. Xiao Qing, don't dwell on the past, just take big steps forward. We will meet again in the future. Go do what you want to do. Remember, everything goes with the flow. Don't look for me, I will come back. Sister really isn't dead. Sci-fi took a deep breath. Ninth brother, she's still here, always here. Whether it's the past, present, future or the shackles of time and space, Yewanlin will always guide her in the most critical moment. Uzion patted her on the head. just smiled. That's great. He had seen her keep calling her sister when she was sick or had nightmares. Yewanlin was still there, and he was happy for her. Si broke off the stone and carefully put it in his pocket. She seemed to be alive again. The fox's eyes brightened. The little deer must have a way to escape. Lu Qingning also left her strength to help Yu Huixia capture the body of the goddess of death. When Si and Yu Xian arrived at the death swamp, Yu Huixia was already waiting there. Seeing only the two of them, her eyes moved undetectably. Sister Lan. My sister is here. Si repeated Yewanlin's words. She said she would come back, so she will definitely come back. Yu Huixia hummed softly, looking at the death swamp in silence. Although she successfully captured the body of the goddess of death and was able to control the swamp of death, she couldn't find any trace of Lu Qingning. Si closed his eyes, and his consciousness went deep into the swamp of death. Yu Huixia stared closely at the calm swamp surface, clenched and loosened her hands. Shua. Suddenly, there was a huge wave in the swamp of death. Yu Huixia's eyes trembled. She saw a small shadow floating from the black swamp. Crack. Si grasped the light and shadow. It's Xiaolu's soul fragment. She breathed a sigh of relief. As long as there are soul fragments, this is a good thing. Is it the 3 souls or the 7 souls? Yu Huixia quickly stepped forward. Can you take back all the souls of Sister Ning? Neither of them. Si eyes were fixed. It's the 8th soul. Yu Huixia's body trembled. Yes, Sister Ning once said that she has an 8th soul. People have 3 souls and 7 souls. The most important thing is the 3 souls. Heavenly soul, earthly soul, human soul. But the 7 souls are also indispensable, very important. There are only a few people whose souls are different from others, and Lu Qingning is one of them. She has 3 souls and 8 souls. The 8th soul is actually useless, but at critical moments, it can save lives, such as now. No wonder. Si exhaled slowly. Little Lu also knew that she was in danger, so she kept her soul in advance. With this 8th soul, she can collect Lu Qingning's other 3 souls and 7 souls. They are all still there. As long as there is hope, there will be results. Si carefully put Lu Qingning's 8th soul into the soul congealing bottle, and he finally let go of it. What about you? How about helping you reshape a body? Si stood up and hooked Yu Huixia's shoulders. Or are you planning to use Yunai? Let's reshape one, Yu Huixia said lightly. I still can't get used to other people's bodies. Okay, no problem. Si raised his eyebrows. Put it on me, and I promise to return your previous body to you. It's exactly the same, even the strands of your hair are not bad. Yu Huixia glanced at her lightly. You know me so well, have you always been secretly in love with me? Si crossed his arms and raised his eyebrows higher. Listen, what are you talking about? How could I have a crush on you? I like you very, very much. Yu Huixia shook her head. She was obviously used to the scumbag's remarks. She took a step forward and said in a faint voice, let's go. And Si raised his head. Let's go. The Eternal Quartet will never lose. 3 years later. Free State, Holy Light Tribunal. A huge stone tablet stands in front of the Holy Light Square, with numerous names engraved on it. Tens of thousands of people stood in front of the stele with solemn expressions. Salute. The gift is over. People stepped forward one by one, placed the flowers in their hands in front of the stele, and bowed deeply. Sister, here is the hero stele written on it. A little girl pointed to the big characters on the stele. Are all these names heroes? Yes. Si knelt down, patted the little girl's head, and smiled. They are great heroes. This is the tens of thousands of pioneers who died in the Eternal War. Their names are all engraved on the stone tablet, which is as immortal as time. The little girl's eyes were bright, and she clenched her fists. Then I will be a hero in the future. Okay, I fucking pulled the hook with her, with a lazy voice, then you have to work hard now. The little girl hummed twice, nodded vigorously, put down the white daisy in her hand, and ran away cheerfully. Si-fu leaned up and looked at the blue sky. The white clouds are rolling, the wind is interspersed, and the white birds are circling upwards, as if a grand dance is ending. Perhaps, there have never been any heroes, but ordinary people who stood up in critical moments. Xiaoju Tanjingmo stepped forward, with a worried expression on his face. How is your health? I'm going to leave. 3 years ago, Si fucking brought back Lu Qingning's eighth soul, and began to use the power of gods and demons to find the whereabouts of Lu Qingning's other souls. In addition, she is also looking for Ye Wanlan's trace, including repairing the Eternal Continent and the Earth's unstable continental plates with Yuzian. This is going against the sky, surpassing the level of the world, and it will do great harm to Si fucking. In the past 3 years, she had almost abolished all her cultivation, and finally confirmed that Lu Qingning's 3 souls and 7 souls were scattered in several different worlds. After the swamp of death swallowed Lu Qingning's soul, the turbulent flow of time and space carried this part of the soul to other places. Alright, Si fucking took off his sunglasses and rubbed his chin. I slept very well yesterday, I can continue to make movies. Second senior brother, go. Tanjingmo took a deep look. Okay, I have written down all the coordinates, and I will bring Aning back. Si-fu looked at him steadfastly, then suddenly said, second senior brother. Tanjingmo turned around. Huh? What's wrong? Although there are several small worlds, the journey to another world is even more difficult. Si fucking said, it's still me. Xiaoju, you are our key protection target now. Tanjingmo smiled lightly. Okay, it's just to collect soul fragments, it's not difficult for me, go and rest, there are more important things to do. The matter of looking for Aning, of course I will come in person. For him, even if the chance of finding Lu Qingning back is only 1 in a billion, he will go to her without hesitation. 10 years of life and death, only dare to dream about. Tanjingmo never expected to be able to rescue Lu Qingning, he even planned to have Si fucking throw him into the shackles of time and space to reunite him with Lu Qingning. Even if he was trapped in the past, he is willing. To him, the world without Lu Qingling is illusory. And Si fucking was silent for a moment, then you all wait for me. Understood. Tanjingmo patted her on the shoulder with a gentle voice. Xiaoju, you have done a good job. Without you, how could I have the chance to see Aning again? Si fucking shook his head slightly. This is what I should do, what is my cultivation level, it doesn't matter. She said and pushed him. Come on, Beiji, I have opened the passage for you. You must bring Sister Ning back, or I will turn you into a pig's head. Tanjingmo snorted slightly. You are really merciless. Without hesitation, he stepped into the passage to the strange world. It took Si fucking a lot of effort to build these passages. Yu Jian came from the other side, put his hand on her shoulder. The second child is gone. Well, let's go. Si-fu returned to his senses and sighed softly. I still haven't found the world my sister lives in. Where will Lan Lan be at night? Yu Jian touched her head. You are already very good, Xiaoju, look at them. Si fucking looked along where her finger was. It is a spring forest. It is row upon row of high-rise buildings. A youthful young girl. 3 years later, all scars have been healed. No one has forgotten the tragedy of the Great War, but everyone has continued to make life better. There were cheers. Si-fu tilted his head. It is a group of people wearing hats and nameplates hanging on their chests, standing in line. Everyone, our first stop today is Ghost Valley. The tour guide's voice was very excited at the front. That's right, it's Ghost Valley, one of the 10 most ominous places in the legend. We have the permission of the Lord of Ghost Valley to step into this legendary land today. Everyone, Please pay attention, every flower and grass in Ghost Valley is very important, please don't touch it randomly. Tourists chattered. Yes, absolutely don't touch it. Last time I saw a big-hearted person touch a flower and lay down stiffly. If the Lord of Ghost Valley hadn't shown mercy and saved him, he would be ashes now. Damn it, why are you so lucky to meet the Lord of Ghost Valley? I've walked this route several times and haven't seen it yet. You can try taking poison. The main thing about Ghost Valley is that it will show up to save you when you pass by, but if you are unlucky, you will just burp. After the eternal continent and the earth run side by side and are connected, the time ratio is completely fixed and becomes 10:1. They also no longer need to enter the different world of eternal continent through the brainwave connection through the game cabin, and can go directly through the door. The Holy Light Tribunal and the Eternal Academy have also opened up a new department, the Eternal Tourism Department. There are different tourist routes for tourists to choose, and for each route, the indigenous spiritual practitioners from the Eternal Continent will lead the tourists from the Freedom Continent to explore the secrets of the Eternal Continent as tour guides. Ghost Valley is listed as the #1 eternal attraction. This activity successfully made the communication between Eternal Continent and Free Continent more in-depth and intimate. Dean Dongfang and Dugu Changfeng intend to invite residents of the Great Xia Empire, Western Continent, and Dongsang to join this tourism activity by sending invitation letters. After all, for most people in other continents, the Eternal Continent is still an unknown world. Many people have forgotten the scene when the world collided, only a meteorite fell to the earth at that time. You really know how to make money, you Aegean sighed. The Ministry of Tourism's income this year is already higher than that of the Huo family. I fucking leaned on the railing, watching the scene lazily. The breeze is blowing, and the time is quiet and beautiful. Ching ching. After an unknown amount of time, a voice sounded behind her. Yu Zion stepped forward and put a coat on her body, running around again. I fucking took the milk tea he brought her. No way, I'm very good. Hey, my girlfriend is here, but I didn't snatch it away. Yuejian took a step back and waved his hand. I went to the bar to drink, see you later. As a light bulb, she is very self-aware, so she quickly left. The two walked side by side until they reached the sunset forest. The sun goes down and night falls. The sky is full of stars, the Milky Way is bright, and the streamer falls, causing waves all over the place. I fucking sat down by the river, and stretched out his hand to shake up the reflection of the moon on the lake. Yu Zion sat beside her and rubbed her head. Will you be sad? In order to completely stabilize the two worlds and prevent Peng Zhong from happening again, the power at the peak of the spiritual realm was just abolished by her. He didn't say anything, but he also used his strength to find Ye Wanlin and Lu Qingning with her. Accompany her without regret. No, I fucking blinked his fox eyes. I know that I can get them back, but I'm too happy. If my cultivation is gone, it will be gone. I'm so powerful, I just need to practice more. Look, it's only been a month, and I've already recovered 30% of my strength. Senior Chun Yuan said that the luck of the world is rising, and our recovery will be faster. Yeah, Yu Zion smiled slightly. That's very true. My sister said, if I can find her, then I will be able to. I fucking raised his head and stretched out his hand to catch the stars in the sky. I didn't give up. If I can't find her, she will definitely be able to find me. This is the mutual trust between her and Ye Wanlin. The night is getting deeper and deeper, and the stars in the sky are gradually appearing. Thousands of hectares of mountains and rivers are picturesque, and the 5 states of Great Xia are bright. I fucking suddenly called him, ninth brother. Yu Zion's eyelashes drooped. Huh. Aju. I'm here. His Majesty Yin Huang. What's the matter, little military division? He turned his head and looked at her with some amusement, but his eyes were extremely gentle. It's nothing, I just want to call you more. I fucking stood up, opened his arms, and said loudly, "This world is really beautiful." The sound of the wind is surging, wrinkling the water of the lake. The moon is bright and the stars are bright. Uzion held her hand and smiled lightly, "It's beautiful, and so are you." He is willing to guard the world, everyone, and this beauty with her. Sci-fi leaned up, held his hand instead, and said cheerfully, "Let's go." He let her pull him and followed him. "Where are you going?" "Go." Sci-fi looked at the giant dragon that had already soared in the east, and smiled slightly, "Daxia." "Okay." Uzion also smiled, "Let's go back to Daxia." "There, is their permanent route. Man cannot defy the torrent of time. But flowers bloom and flowers fall. They are in love. Unswerving until death." End of text. 16 months, 3.05 million words. The text of King King's book is finished, and it has never been updated, even when I was sick and infected. Thank you for my persistence, and thank you for your support. Finally, ask for a wave of monthly tickets to support Ching Ching. 1. There are about 200,000 characters in King King's extra episode. First, I will write the story of Ching Ching and His Majesty's public love affair, then there will be the second senior brother and Lu Qingning, Xiaoyu, and Xiaobai, and finally the linkage. Extra daily updates, not divided into chapters, will be updated irregularly, and will be updated normally tomorrow, around 9:30 every morning. 2. This book will write a bridal chamber article for Your Majesty and Ching Ching welfare, and it will be posted in the group after the extra episode is over, and the author's profile of the group number will be verified. 3. Opened a pre-acquisition, and you can find it by searching Turning the Lanterns at Night. You can search for a favorite, or directly click into my author column. If you open it, the title of the book will definitely be changed. There is a high probability that it will not be released this year, because the inspiration is currently exhausted, and it would be bad if I don't want to forcefully write the same plot as the previous part, so I would rather not open it. The only female lead of the new book that can be sure is Ye Wanlin. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 993. For many, 3 years flies by. In the past 3 years, many things have happened in Liberty Island. Before Sci-Fi chose to succeed, Dugu Changfeng still served as the head of the Holy Light Tribunal. Under his leadership, the Holy Light Tribunal regained the faith of the people of the continent. On the side of Eternal Academy, Dean Dongfang is old and has chosen to retire. After neither Sci-Fi nor Yu Huixiu wanted to be the dean, he forced the dean's appointment document into Yu Huixiu's hands. Yu Huixiu looked at him expressionlessly. "Teacher, I don't think this is good." "What's wrong?" Dean Dongfang glared. "Tell me about you." Endured humiliation and went undercover at Yongsu's side for 3 years, and even killed the goddess of death. How many people can do this? It would be great for you to be the dean. Who dares to object? Yu Huixiu, I object. She just wants to practice in seclusion and find someone to fight with. She doesn't want to become the dean or be a victim. Dean Dongfang. He covered his heart. You are really not as caring as that child, Aning, you insist on pissing me off." Hearing this, Yu Huixiu suddenly turned her head and said calmly, "My surname is Si, bring the medicine, the teacher is going to die." Dean Dongfang. What, Si hurried over. "Teacher, why are you looking for death? Didn't you say that you are going to cultivate in the eternal continent so that you can compete with my master?" She looked at Dean Dongfang with great concern, and took out a bottle of medicine. Dean Dongfang was so angry that his heart ached. "Let's all go. Leave him alone." Boom. The door was closed. Sci-Fi and Yu Huixiu looked at each other. "Why did you make the teacher angry again?" Yu Huixiu crossed her arms and said casually, "He wants to succeed him, but I don't want to. He treats me like I don't know that becoming the dean has to take care of a lot of things." Tisk Si fucking raised his head and looked up at the sky. I forgot, you even gave up the patriarch of the Yu family, and the teacher's dream has come to nothing. Yu Huixu was still alive and had successfully usurped the position of the goddess of death. This was a surprise that the Yu family could not even dream of. And after the connection between the eternal continent and the earth, luck also merged, and spiritual practitioners were able to break through the peak of the Holy Spirit realm and reach the spiritual God realm. Yu Huixu, who is in the spiritual realm, is naturally the first choice for the patriarch of the Yu family. But she didn't want to, so Yu Lingzhao was still the head of the Yu family. Yu Huixu nodded slightly. You are in better health now, is there anything else you need to do? Even she hadn't seen Si fucking in the past 3 years. She is very happy to see that Si fucking is safe and sound now. Go back to Daxia, Si fucking asked her. Are you going? Yu Huixu didn't hesitate. Well, go and have a look. Go and see the place that Ye Wanlin and Lu Qingning mentioned many times. They haven't come back yet, so she will travel all over the great rivers and mountains in the 5 states of Daxia on their behalf. Okay, Si fucking patted her on the shoulder with a cheerful voice. I'll go and see Xiaobai first, and ask Feng San and Shang Lu to send you there first. I have a villa over there, I bought it myself. Yu Huixu raised her eyebrows slightly, and said lightly, money fan. She watched Si fucking leave, and stood quietly beside the lake. Birds flit across the lake, and lotus flowers bloom, reflecting each other with lotus leaves. Such a world is indeed beautiful. She is willing to protect the world. Prosperity and peace, get what you want. The Huo family. Si fucking went to visit Xiaobai in the bedroom. A young girl was lying in the ice coffin, her eyes were tightly closed, and her lips were pale. The platinum blonde long hair hung down, as if the sun had scattered all over the place, and it was shockingly beautiful. This is the body that Si fucking built for Xiaobai, and it is no different from Xiaobai's body after transforming into form. The body has chosen the best materials from the eternal continent and the earth, reaching the level of being invulnerable to swords and guns and invulnerable to 100 poisons. Her Pixiu, she naturally wants to give Bai Jinyu the best. Teacher Si Xiaoyu pushed open the door, walked in, and nodded slightly towards her. She looks much better in recent days. Is she about to wake up? Bai Jinyu has been lying here for 3 years. After she transformed, her appearance was no different from that of an 18-year-old girl. She was very quiet when she fell asleep, even the strands of her hair were sticking to the sides of her ears obediently, without the usual barking of teeth and claws. Xiaoyu knew what she was doing back then, but even today he still can't imagine how such a small girl could erupt with such great strength. Well, the 3 souls have gathered. Si fucking stroked Bai Jinyu's hair, and said in a low voice, her soul is so broken that it will take a period of recuperation after she wakes up to gather all the souls. 3 souls and 7 spirits are indispensable. The 7 souls represent many things, such as body immunity, wisdom, emotion, and so on. If 1 soul is missing, these things will also be missing, so it takes a long time to recuperate. Yes, yeah, you laughed softly. I've been waiting for 3 years, I'm not in a hurry, as long as it takes. Si fucking pondered for a moment. I'm sorry to trouble you, Xiaobai was also very close to you before. Senior Chun Yuan said that staying by your side will help her gather her soul. Yes, yeah, you replied again, with a lazy look. I remember when I was in the youth training camp, she always liked to throw herself into my arms. Actually, this Si fucking dragged his voice, because you look like me and have a blood relationship with me, so it is very kind to you. Xiaoyu was startled, and then he let out a muffled laugh. Is that so? But if you treat her well, she will treat you very well. Si Fu raised his eyebrows. I didn't expect that she would give you her pixie of fur. In the past, she shed tears even if she lost a hair. Xiaoyu was silent for a moment, then said softly, she has always been very kind to me. I'm going to continue to go back to the entertainment industry to record variety shows and film movies to collect luck. Sci-fi leaned up, my luck is strong, and part of it will be fed back to Ziobai. If there is anything wrong, please contact me. Okay, Xiaoyu nodded and smiled, Mr. Si, you really should go back. Many people are waiting for you. In the past 3 years, he has not given up his acting career. While relieving his depression, he also earns food for Ziobai by the way. Although he makes few appearances, his fans can at least see his work. But Si fucking didn't. The public media knew that he and Si fucking had a close relationship, and had asked him about Si fucking's whereabouts many times, but he could only keep silent. Well, let's go. Si fucking waved his hand and went out. Outside, private jets parked on the lawn. Zhejiang opened the hatch and was very excited, Miss Si, hurry up, this is the latest generation of aircraft from our MO family. Brother Ju will transfer it to you first. Si fucking boarded the plane, how is it? I heard from Aju that you have been taking love psychology classes for 3 years, have you found a partner yet? Canyoning's smile stopped abruptly. He wanted to cry but had no tears, Miss Si, don't mention such a heartbreaking thing. He's too straight, he doesn't know how to provide girls with emotional value. Yu Zion glanced at Zhejiang lightly, I still need to continue the class. Canyoning shut up, not daring to speak. He was afraid that if he opened his mouth, he would be thrown to the extreme north. Si fucking sat down on the chair, touched his chin, ninth brother, I think Xiaoyu's attitude towards my stupid Pixio is a bit wrong. Huh, Yu Zion raised her head and smiled at her, what's wrong? Isn't it too dedicated to be a shit-shoveling officer? Si fucking was thoughtful, there must be something wrong. But where? Yu Zion raised her eyebrows, and said unhurriedly, there is nothing wrong. Facts have proved that no matter how strong his girl is, there are still things she is not good at. Such as cooking, such as, the love between men and women. But that doesn't hinder anything. She won't, he can learn and be very good at it. Yu Zion raised her hand and touched her head, and said, go to sleep for a while, it's getting late. Si fucking took the blindfold from his hand and yawned, it's been a long time since I slept. After waking up, it will be Daxia. Yu Zion turned her head and looked out the window, where should I go first? Go to Sister Sang first. Si fucking's eyes brightened, tell her that I'm back. In the past 3 years, she has exhausted her cultivation for Ye Wanlin, Lu Qingning and Xiaobai, and she has also walked through the ghost gate several times. She wasn't sure whether she would be able to survive in the end, and she didn't want to make Sang Yanking hopeful and disappointed, so she never contacted her. Yes, you're back. Yu Zion hugged her, closed her eyes, and said softly, they don't have to wait for you any longer. The plane flew through the intersection of night and day, and flew to the mysterious eastern continent. Great Xia Empire, 49 cities. Si fucking studio. Today's breaking news, Xinguang Channel's latest love variety show Let's Fall in Love Together. It is reported that a certain female top class will participate, and there will be many big names. The editor is also looking forward to it. How about everyone? The 3 words female top stream immediately attracted the attention of netizens. What? Top female? Oh my god, is Si fucking coming back? Who is Si fucking? I've never heard of it. Look out for our top girl, Qin Zio, and please others not to touch porcelain. Laughs. Did Qin Zio fans really just start mixing in the entertainment industry? Apart from Si fucking, who else can be called top-notch in domestic entertainment? I just laughed. Si fucking is in the past tense of 3 years ago. Has she had a work in these 3 years? No. Soon another marketing account posted on Weibo with the names of Si fucking and Qin Zio, which sparked a new round of discussion. Sister Sang, they started again. The agent assistant was indignant, it's really too much. Qin Zio, 19 years old this year, is a new top star. In Youth Girl, he counterattacked from the last place to the C position, and gained countless fans. Last year, I filmed a costume drama with a heroine, and it has become an instant hit since then. Many entertainment companies still believe that the reason why Sci-Fucking was able to become top-notch is because her counterattack character design is very popular. Of course, strength is indeed the top priority. But in this materialistic era, after Sci-Fucking left for another 3 years, the entertainment industry has returned to the previous traffic era. You don't need acting skills, you don't need academic qualifications, you just need to package it, and you can be sought after by many fans. This method of making stars is very convenient, so naturally no one chooses to rely on strength to break through. It's been 3 years, Sang Yanking sighed. Let's send out an announcement, don't make those fans wait any longer. Sister Sang. Absolutely can't post it at this time, the manager's assistant was anxious. That new little flower came out under the name of Ching Ching. If we post the withdrawal announcement now, I don't know how happy the other party will be. Woolen cloth. In the past 3 years, there have been many celebrities, both men and women, who have used Sci-Fucking's name to suck blood, but only Chin Ziyu has succeeded. The entertainment industry is a place that changes too fast. Some people go up, some people go down. There are old actors retiring, and new generation blood injected. Star chasers are also changing round after round. 3 years is enough to bring about earth-shaking changes in this circle. The memory of netizens is very short, and it is enough to make them forget many things. The manager's assistant couldn't help but ask, Sister Sang, where did Teacher Si go? Why did he suddenly disappear like Yun Lan back then? She may. Sang Yanking murmured, she has gone to a faraway place. She recalled the first time she met Sci-Fucking 6 years ago. In fact, when Yu Zion sent someone to invite her out of the mountain again, she had already heard of Sci-Fucking's name. She is a girl who dares to challenge the capital. The entertainment industry lacks such stars. No, she is not a star, but a ruler to clean up the entire entertainment circle. Entertainment companies all hope that this rule will be broken, so that they can collect more money from fans. 3 years ago, all of them were forced to leave the Earth in a spacecraft, and then came back. The official only explained to the outside world that they successfully avoided a natural disaster, and the Earth is still their home and has not been destroyed. Everything was a false alarm, and many people gradually began to forget about this incident and resumed their previous lives. But Sang Yanking could actually guess something. She knew Sci-Fucking very well, and she was absolutely sure that the disaster would disappear. It must be Sci-Fucking who took action. Sci-Fucking is such a person, he never thinks about himself first. They were able to survive and continue to live their previous lives. What about Sci-Fucking himself? How much did you pay? Sang Yanking was very afraid of hearing some bad rumors, which would wipe out all her hopes. Without any news, she can still comfort herself that Sci-Fucking is alive in a certain corner of the world. Today is the last day of her agreement with Sci-Fucking. Sang Yanking got up quickly, let's make an announcement, we. Boom boom boom. There was a knock on the office door at this moment. Sister Sang, who is it? The manager assistant was a little strange. In the first 2 years, there would still be brand owners looking for cooperation with them, but in the past 6 months, there have been none. Everyone thought that Sci-Fucking had completely withdrawn from the circle, so these brand owners chose little Sci-Fucking, Chin Ziyu. I don't know, I'll go and have a look. Sang Yanking was also very surprised. She walked over and opened the door. The episode is coming. This part is the story of His Majesty King Qin, the 6th senior brother Ajalaya, and Kukaki Minjiu Yuan Mingqi together on the romance show Every Day is Sweet. All the VCPS you mentioned will be written, but Xiaoyu and Ziobai, Xiaolu and the 2nd senior brother will have a longer chapter. Daily updates, at 9:30 every day, regardless of chapters. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 994. During this time, Sang Yanqing has gotten used to the desertedness of the studio. Qinzai became famous by copying Sci-fi's line. She didn't say it, but she felt very conflicted in her heart after all. Sci-fi is Sci-fi, unique and irreplaceable by others. But in the big environment of the entertainment industry, she really had nothing to do. After Qinzai made her debut under the name of Xiao Sci-fi, she has always respected Sci-fi in public and regarded her as a senior. The muses knew that Qinzai was relying on the popularity gained by touching porcelain to become a new top female figure, so they could only keep their eyes off her. Otherwise, they will be criticized in turn by the seniors for suppressing the juniors for not knowing what to do. A few days ago, Qinzai's manager came to her specifically, saying that he wanted to talk about cooperation, but in fact, he was inquiring whether Sci-fi would come back overtly or secretly. Sang Yanqing also knew that Qinzai's team would be the happiest if the news of Sci-fi's withdrawal from the circle was released today. Many muses were in love, and even though Sci-fi was fascinated, they did not climb the wall. But if Sci-fi completely withdraws from the circle, Qinzai, who follows the same path, can take over these muses and become the top class. Sang Yanqing took a deep breath and raised his head expressionlessly. The lights in the corridor illuminated the girl's face, dyeing her eyebrows and eyes pale gold. Just like the first time I saw it, it was astonishingly beautiful. Sang Yanqing froze suddenly. She shook her body, moved her lips, and said with some difficulty as if she couldn't believe that she was dreaming, "Ching Ching." As soon as she spoke, she realized that her voice was very hoarse, her body trembled violently, and she almost couldn't stand upright. Sister Sang Sci-fi stepped forward to hug her, and said softly, "I abide by the agreement, I'm back." These words made Sang Yanqing, who had always been a vigorous and independent manager in his career, burst into tears instantly. Her body trembled even more, and she choked up and asked, "Where have you been these 3 years?" "I'm sorry," Sci-fi said in a low voice, "I have been worried that I will not succeed, so I have not contacted you, Sister Sang, and you have been wronged." "No, no, Ching Ching, you don't need to apologize to anyone." Sang Yanqing shook her head, she wiped her tears and smiled relievedly, "If you don't tell me, I can guess what you are going to do." "What can be wronged?" Mr. Si, hearing the movement, the manager's assistant ran out, startled. "Mr. Si, is it really you?" Si bent his fox eyes and nodded towards her. "It's me." "It's really you," the agent assistant cried with joy, turned his head and shouted loudly, "Everyone come out, our teacher Si is back." The doors of other offices were opened one after another, and the new media publicity, business, assistants, and stylists all ran out. The entire studio team couldn't believe it when they saw familiar faces. "Teacher Si. Mr. Si, you are back." In the past 3 years, the studio's funds have not been lacking, and the dividends from the 2 top masterpieces Walking the Devil and The Lady of the Kingdom are enough to support the entire studio. But the only thing missing is someone who will allow them to stand tall in the entertainment industry. 3 years is not long or short. Some people don't want to wait, but they won't, they can wait forever. "Don't stand here." Si smiled and patted the assistant's shoulder, "Come on, let's go in." Everyone sat down on the sofa one by one, and the assistant poured a few glasses of water. Sang Yanqing wiped away her tears and smiled again. "I lost my composure, everyone laughs at me." "Sister Sang, who dares to laugh at you?" Si said in a relaxed tone, "Speak out, and I'll find a place for you." The familiar tone immediately brought Sang Yanqing back to many years ago. The previous melancholy was swept away, and she looked at Si fucking without saying a word. You go and find a place for me, I'm afraid you will directly break the other party's bones and send him to the hospital. When she didn't know her entertainer's character yet. Sister Sang, don't say that about Teacher Si. The manager assistant laughed. Mr. Si is protecting his shortcomings. Hearing these words, Si fucking slowly suppressed his smile, and asked lightly, really, who? The four words are very simple, and the tone is also straightforward, but there is a chill in it. It's not a big deal. Sang Yanking didn't care. I was crushed by a stone. Could it be possible to crush the stone? It didn't cause any real harm, so it doesn't matter. Si fucking nodded. The stone can indeed be crushed if it hurts the foot. As she spoke, she picked up a stone in the flower pot, and crushed it with a snap, and the powder scattered in the trash can. Sang Yanking. Other people. They almost forgot that Si fucking didn't take the usual way. Let's talk. Si fucking wiped his hands and smiled. Who bullied you, huh? Before Sang Yanking could speak, the manager's assistant said first, Mr. Si, you don't know how many people have gained popularity by sucking your blood in the past 3 years without you, especially that Chin Zio, who has become more and more famous recently. It's getting too far. Chin Zio, Si fucking thought for a while, I don't have any impression. This Chin Zio got started by copying your route, Mr. Si. The agent assistant was filled with righteous indignation. You were a mentor in youth, so she went to participate in Youth and Girls. You filmed the female general of the town and Walking the Devil, and she went to film the world's #1 female catcher. She even posted the same Weibo style as you, and tied you up every day to suck your blood for marketing. Now everyone calls her Xiao Si fucking. Si Fu raised his eyebrows. So powerful. For reality shows such as Youth and the enthusiasm of students will far exceed that of teachers. For example, Xiaoyu back then, once he danced to become a god, his debut was top class. She did not rely on youth to gain a firm foothold in the entertainment industry, but 66 days to survive. The strength is still good, otherwise she would not be as popular with so many people chasing you. Sang Yanking pressed her temple and sighed, it's just that her team will deliberately jump in front of us, like an undead ant grasshopper. Huh, Teacher Si, she has always wanted to take over your fans so that she can become the #1 female top class. The new media promotion also said, now that you are back, this pirated fake should also show its prototype. Yes, Si Fu tilted his head, and wrote lightly, if you jump again, you feel bored, then pinch it out and throw it away. Okay. Sang Yanking was afraid that she would make some bloody remarks, so he hurriedly said, Ching Ching, since you're back, I have a few variety shows here, do you want to take them? Yes, Teacher Si, variety show is the fastest way to regain popularity, the assistant excitedly said, otherwise we will participate in the same variety show as that Chin Zio. Didn't she invite Teacher Si arrogantly last time? Si Fu rubbed his chin. Sister Sang, you can choose, I trust your vision. Sang Yanking nodded. I'm treating guests today. Si Fu leaned up, everyone come downstairs with me for dinner. Hurrah! The staff cheered and took off their badges one after another to change their clothes. Sang Yanking and Si fucking walked side by side. I haven't asked you yet, how are you and Mr. Yu doing? Well. Si fucking dragged his voice, secret. Sang Yanking was helpless, okay, I don't ask, anyway, when you get married, you must give me an invitation card. Of course, no problem. Si fucking blinked, I can also ask you to be the master of ceremonies. It's settled. Sang Yanking nodded with satisfaction, let's go to dinner first. Si fucking waved at her, Sister Sang, Aju will see me off, you don't need to reserve my place in the car. After speaking, she got into a black car parked on the side of the road. Yu Zion raised her hand to press the roof of the car to prevent her from knocking it. At this moment, Si fucking found a small box in his arms, What is this? She took the box over and opened it to have a look. Inside is a ring. But it is not a diamond ring, it is inlaid with a piece of radiant and colorful transparent jade. I fucking recognized what this jade was. There is only one core of the 8 major mines in the world. When something was discovered, Zion was also very indifferent. He raised his hand, brushed away the sideburns around her ears, and laughed softly. It's the engagement ring I prepared 3 years ago. I fucking was startled. 3 years ago. I used to think about what will happen after my death. Zion looked ahead. I was wondering if I could gamble my life on a prosperous world again, but I didn't want you to forget, so I made this ring in advance. After a pause, he said lightly, I'm not a magnanimous person. I leave the ring to you, and I will let you remember me even if I die. I fucking lowered his eyes and squeezed the box in his hand. You are really domineering. Emperor Yin has the world in his heart, and loves the people like a son. But because of his growth experience in 2 lifetimes, he has his paranoia and violence in his bones. You won't be domineering to others. Zion tilted her head, but you are different, you must remember. I fucking blinked his eyes. Okay, then I will reluctantly accept it. She was about to put the ring on, but was blocked by a hand. In half a second, both the ring and the box were taken back. Zion said, not now. I fucking's fox eyes widened suddenly. Hey, how can you take what you gave me? I haven't formally proposed yet. Zion smiled. The girl has taken it away now. What do you want me to use when proposing? It's okay, I don't need you to propose. I fucking stretched out his hand. Which one of us is with whom? Just give it to me. Zion didn't listen to her this time, but put the ring back into the box and said, here, but not directly. Stingy ghost, I fucking said fiercely, you have to give it to me anyway. What's the difference between giving it to me now and giving it to me later? She doesn't value fame and wealth. Ching ching, he suddenly called her. Don't call me, I'll ignore you. I fucking covered his eyes, but he could see him secretly through his fingers. His gaze is steady and powerful, his pupils are dimly lit, and he has a slight smile. Such a face is indeed unpopular. You don't need to propose, but I don't want you to be wronged. Zion looked at her firmly, her eyebrows and eyes curled up. It was so hard before that I couldn't be by your side. I always give you what you don't have. You make up, and you can't miss a single one. I fucking's heart trembled, as if a hand was touching her heartstrings. She lowered her head. I know. Yeah. Zion turned the steering wheel. It's yours, it won't change. I Fu looked at the scenery outside the window, and suddenly said, Ninth brother, why don't you go to teach a class? The psychology of love. Innate talent, learning is useless. I fucking fell silent, and began to mourn for Zhejiang for 3 seconds in his heart. On the other side, Qin Zio's studio. Zio, it's inappropriate for you to be on a romance show at such a young age. Ruan Chengfang disagreed. Why do you suddenly want you to be on a romance show? Qin Zio smiled slightly, swirling the red wine in his glass. Sister Ruan, this is not just a love variety show, the most important thing is survival on a deserted island. Do you remember that I fucking had a variety show called Survival 66 Days? Of course Ruan Chengfang remembered. This variety show was filmed 5 years ago, and the number of broadcasts and popularity is still high. To completely replicate I fucking's route and become top-notch, survival variety shows are naturally indispensable. It's been 3 years, and I fucking really hasn't moved at all. Ruan Chengfang smiled. Zio, you have the right time, place, and people, and God is helping you. Qin Zio just smiled, and said casually, of course, my luck has always been very good. When she was still a trainee abroad, the name I fucking was already well known. It can be called a generation of legends. No one knows how much I fucking knows. She can always inadvertently make a big splash, blowing the faces of keyboard warriors and black fans away. Chinzio knew that she was not strong enough, so she could only develop in the entertainment industry. She also doesn't have such big ambitions, completely copying Sci-Fi's route to conquer the game field and the sports world. We need to create momentum for the matter of weaving more and more love. Ruan Chengfang got up, contact the marketing account, bring the name of the boss fucking as before, and increase the popularity. The copy has been sent to you, start now. Good. The staff should all go down. They have become accustomed to such things as touching CISI fucking, and they are handy. Sister Ruan, the Weibo server is down, the new media assistant typed on the keyboard for a while, and said anxiously, it's blank when I open it, and now Weibo can't be posted. How could you be so paralyzed? Ruan Chengfang frowned, which star has been exposed to such a scandal? Public relations are so useless. The star and the agency were the happiest when Sci-Fi disappeared. It will no longer be like before, when a star's black material is suddenly blown out of power. Weibo was blank for a full 10 minutes before it was finally restored. Sister Ruan, let's go in. The new media publicity was very happy, I'm just. His words suddenly stopped. He stared at a Weibo that popped up on the homepage. At V, I'm back. After 3 years, Sci-Fi once again paralyzed the entire network by relying on 4 words. The Great Demon King came back again. That's right, the extra episode is still written according to the timeline, the wedding is in the last part, and it will be very interesting to arrange for Ying Huang and Zunzu to attend. At that time, the group will post a welfare bridal chamber article, not a side story. The welfare article will not affect any plot at all. It is the same whether you read it or not. Join the group voluntarily. After the full text is finished, it will be posted in the group. Next month, the group will open an activity to send free shipping cards around it and a lucky draw for pillows. 1,000 people will lock the group. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 995. No need to go into too much detail, and no pictures. Just such a sentence is enough to shake the entire network. In the past 3 years, although Sci-Fi has never appeared, there are still many muses who will go to her previous Weibo to check in every day. When the muse saw this newly released Weibo, they still couldn't believe it. Am I dreaming? Is it Ching Ching? Really Ching Ching? Not dreaming. Your sister is back. What's this? This is Ching Ching, a kiss. What's this? This is Ching Ching, give me a kiss. After Weibo resumed, in just a few seconds, the number of comments on this 4-character Weibo skyrocketed by 20,000 in an instant, and it was still increasing at a rate of thousands per second. This is true top-notch power. As soon as Sci-Fi tilted out, not a single blade of grass grew on the entire network. 3 years later, she is still the unreplaceable number 1. At V, thank you for your perseverance. 3 years of precipitation will bring better works, please look forward to it. Comparison. Wait for you, wait for you. Just come back, Ching Ching, I will never climb the wall. Me too, me too. The moose happily ran around in Kaihua to tell each other, and started a new round of lucky draw. Sci-Fi, who had been silent for a long time, rushed to the first place in the ranking in an instant, leaving Qingji, who had countless data for work every day, far behind. New media propaganda stared blankly at the 2 new Weibo posts by Sci-Fi, cold sweat broke out on his back instantly, and a chilling feeling enveloped him. What's wrong? Ruan Chengfang stared at the computer in a daze when he saw the new media promotion, and his brows frowned again. Why was he in a daze? Don't you hurry up and post Weibo to build momentum for Xiao? Ruan, Sister Ruan. The new media publicity turned around, still dumbfounded. Si fucking her. What's wrong with her? Ruan Chengfang became a little impatient. She's just a blood bag for Xiao as a stepping stone, you know. Hurry up, don't worry about offending Sang Yanking. If they really dare to end, we will immediately issue a notice to the seniors to suppress the juniors. No, the new media publicity was very anxious, and finally choked out a sentence, Si fucking just posted on Weibo. She's back. Ruan Jinfang's head hummed for a moment, but he couldn't react immediately. What did you say? Si fucking is back. At this time? In the first and second years, she was indeed worried that Si fucking would return to the entertainment circle, but in the third year, she was completely relieved. 3 years is enough to make the fast food culture rampant entertainment circle completely forget about a person. Ruan Chengfang had already made a series of plans, about how to help Qin Xiao swallow Si fucking's huge fan base. This is the cake that every traffic star dreams of and covets for a long time. There have long been rumors that as long as they can win 1/10 of Si fucking's fans, they will be able to rank among the top and gain a firm foothold in the entertainment industry. Why did Si fucking come back before she took any formal action? Sister Ruan, look, the new media publicity gave way to the position. The voice was still trembling. Weibo just now. Qin Xiao frowned. A news pop-up window just popped up on her phone. The top real girl is back, the big devil in the entertainment industry is back. Are you trembling? Qin Xiao's hand holding the phone tightened instantly, and his nails dug into his palm. Her pupils trembled because of these words. In addition to the happy moose, other netizens were also shocked. Thought I was blind at night. After looking at it more than a dozen times, I found out that it was Si fucking himself. Although I'm not a die-hard fan, I miss Si so much. I beg Si to reorganize the entertainment industry. You don't know that the entertainment industry has regressed back to the traffic era in an instant during the 3 years you've been away. After all, being a traffic star can have countless fans and endorsements. Naturally, not many stars can really hone their abilities. This is reality, and it is also sad. Chigwa passerby, the entertainment industry for the past 3 years has been so interesting. A certain Xiaohua's route of copying the goddess has become a hit. She has strength, but she also has a lot of marketing. She also claims to be Si fucking's meal replacement, and welcomes Si fucking's fans to climb her wall. She will not let fans down. Happy, what meal replacement? It's the low-profile version. Can Si fucking's influence and appeal be replicated? Swallow a dumpling fan plate? Sorry, Ching Ching is here, so I will continue to chase her and watch her dramas. If Ching Ching is not here, I will study with peace of mind. When we musy, everyone can be a fan. This, although I don't know who Xiaohua is, it's too whimsical for you to want to turn Moose into your own die-hard fan, right? Si fucking is a super top match, fans have high vision. Seeing these comments, Qin Xiao almost crushed the phone. She raised her head suddenly and sneered, I haven't come back for 3 years, why is she coming back now? On purpose? Specifically against me? Seeing that Si fucking has become a new top player and has many fans, Si fucking finally can't sit still. Ruan Chengfang also took a deep breath. Who knows why she came back suddenly? I went to find Sang Yanking a few days ago, and Sang Yanking didn't show much. I think she must have known that Si fucking was coming back at that time. That was intentional. Qin Xiao looked indifferent, but I can also understand that it is normal to feel a sense of crisis when a top star with the same line as myself suddenly appears. And she's younger. She is only 19 years old this year. How old is Si fucking? Already 24 years old. Without her aura, nor her lively. It's really not coming back sooner or later. Ruan Chengfang gritted her teeth. Don't send out the notice yet, just wait and see what happens, and see what her team will do next. False success. How could she not be resentful? Sister Ruan, don't worry, it's useless when she comes back. Chin Zio was very calm on the contrary, and smiled. 3 years is very short in other fields, but in the entertainment industry, it's turned upside down. She really thought it was when she dominated before. Ruan Chengfang was taken aback. Zio, you mean? I have a TV series coming out soon, and the heroine of Tang Haikyu's next fairy tale drama is basically out of my reach. Chin Zio's smile deepened. Sci-fi will really go to retreat for the past 3 years filming, then she won't just say those few words dryly. What is the most important thing for an actor? Of course it is the work. Yeah, Ruan Chengfang was enlightened. She hasn't even made a work for 3 years. Isn't this just letting her fans wait for nothing? Then we will break through from this point. Chin Zio raised his eyebrows. There's no need to step on her to take the position anymore. I'll prepare for the romance and let her enjoy it for a few days. Sooner or later, she would pull Sci-fi off the altar. She is the only one in the top position. 49 City. Kingpingal Restaurant. Everyone in the studio team sat down one by one, very excited. Sang Yanking was answering the phone at the side. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. Although she said this, her smile deepened. After all, our artist has been away for so long, and I was in a hurry to tell the fans to give them reassurance, so I forgot to say hello to you gone. It's really troublesome for you. In this way, I will send some souvenirs to your company. Yes, ours is. You also know that we have always been the only global spokesperson for ours. After finishing the call, Sang Yanking let out a sigh of relief and returned to his seat. Sci-fi asked, who is it? It's on Weibo. Sang Yanking put down the phone. You suddenly posted on Weibo, your fans overwhelmed the server, and all the programmers are working overtime urgently. Isn't this a call to complain to me? Huh, Sci-fi was surprised. Could it be that they haven't worked overtime in the past 3 years? I still added it a few times, Sang Yanking said. A few times it was teacher Xiaoyu, and a few times it was teacher Su Yang, but it was not as bad as your collapse this time. We haven't said hello in advance. The top artist company teams all have cooperative relationships with social platforms such as Weibo. If any major material is released, the program department will also prepare in advance. This time, Sci-fi posted on Weibo at 6 o'clock, which was the off-duty time, and the programmers were called back again. Sci-fi understood. She nodded. Then let's say hello in advance next time. Sang Yan looked at her quietly. I think if you say hello in advance, you can do even more explosive things. Sci-fi tilted his chin and blinked. Sister Sang, you really understand me? Sang Yanking was expressionless. She would rather she didn't understand. Mr. Si, Sister Sang, let's chat while eating. The manager assistant greeted. The entertainment industry has indeed changed a lot in the past 3 years. Teacher Si needs to get used to it. Sci-fi nodded slightly. I'll take on a variety show to warm up first. Sister Sang, is there anyone suitable? Actually, there is a variety show that I think is quite suitable for you. Sang Yanking coughed lightly. I'm just afraid that you won't want to participate. Sci-fi raised his eyebrows. What variety show? The manager's assistant opened his mouth wide. Sister Sang, you're not talking about the single and going to hell love variety show for survival on a deserted island, are you? Will Mr. KSI really be on the romance variety show? Sci-fi was silent for a moment, then said slowly, the name of this love song sounds a bit scary. Very suitable for canyoning participation. Whether we are in love or not is not important to us. Sang Yanking waved his hand. The point is that this variety show has a lot of bonuses, and the first place is 50 million. Sci-fi's ears caught the key words, and she said with a serious expression, I will participate. The manager's assistant helped the amount. Sister Sang really pinpointed Teacher Si accurately. This is the program list, and there are some activities on it. Sang Yanking had a strong professionalism, and immediately took out the file. Take a look. Si fucking took it and briefly browsed through it. Then she pointed to one of the projects with a blank face and said, "No, I don't make a fire to cook food. I will set fire to a mountain." Sang Yanking. Everyone. This is very supportive. Why don't you call Mr. Zhang, the manager assistant suggested. Ms. Zhang was there last time in 66 days to survive, so I don't have to worry about cooking. Si Fu tilted his chin and sighed, but Ning Ning and Su Yang are going to be the mentors of this edition of Youth Girl, and there is no time. Because Xiaoyu was a top performer when he debuted, Youth became a resident variety show. 1 year male trainee, 1 year female trainee. It's just that no second Xiaoyu was born. This year, the producer originally only invited Zhang Changning to be the dance instructor, but unexpectedly they caught up with Su Yang. The producer wept with joy. Then Sang Yanking also hesitated, and she said sadly, "Or you should still burn the mountain." Si fucking. Don't worry. Yu Zion stretched out her hand and rubbed her head, with a faint smile. "I'll accompany you. I've learned a few new dishes. Ching ching, I'm not allowed to enter the kitchen." Si fucking paused. You go with me." "That's right." The agent's assistant's eyes lit up. "Mr. You will go with Mr. Si, that would be great. Since you are a couple, it will be convenient for you to get the bonus." "But you can't let others see it," Sang Yanking said. "If you see it, the bonus will be void." Yu Zion raised her eyebrows lightly. "It's okay, my acting skills are not bad." "Okay, then it's settled," the manager assistant excitedly said. "Sister Sang, it just so happens that Chin Zio also accepted this variety show. Didn't she want to step on the top? Let her see who is the real survival god." Si fucking fell silent again. What is the weird and secondary title of the god of survival? "Okay, no problem," Sang Yanking agreed happily. "The director is nearby, I'll take you there for dinner later." Si fucking rubbed his chin. "Is there a limit to the number of participants in this show?" "No." Sang Yanking shook his head. "The main focus is actually survival on a deserted island, with love as a supplement." "Very good." Si fucking snapped his fingers. "Then I ask a few more people to support the scene, don't you mind?" Sang Yanking. Si fucking sent invitation messages to Raphael, Yuan Mingqi, Yuning, and Lang Xian, all at an extremely fast speed. She is really a good junior sister, and all senior brothers treat her equally. "Who did you call?" Sang Yanking was suspicious. "The head of the Mo family. The leader of the Thousand Army Alliance." Si fucking has such a wide network of contacts that even she can't figure it out. Si fucking was choked. "How many years has the leader of the Qinjun League been married? I can call his son for you, do you want it?" Don't scare the director," Sang Yanking warned. "He is a new director, and his heart hasn't been tempered by you, so don't scare him." Si fucking is very well behaved. "Understood, I understand very well. It's not 3 families and 4 alliances." Sang Yanking was finally relieved. "Then we will wait for the person you called to come and go together." After a while, the door of the box was pushed open. "Little junior sister," Raphael ran in excitedly. "I'm here, I can go up, can you call AOAO too?" Sang Yanking looked at Raphael, then at Si fucking. A text message sent Duke Miston here. "Good morning. Why don't you make a bet on which brother will leave the order first? For example, the right hand of the god has not been lost all over the world, and the vest of the great Xia escort, the son of Xia Wenjian, the leader of the Thousand Army Alliance, and Mu Qingmeng. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god." Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 996. Is this what you mean by not being scary? Sang Yanking was in a trance, and always felt that she needed to prepare some SISI brand quick-acting heart relief pills in advance, so as to protect the heart safety of the new director in advance. What do I call AOAO? SI fucking raised his eyebrows, seeing through Raphael's wolfish ambition. If you want to chase after you, you can go after yourself. You can't still squeeze your junior sister in this kind of thing, right? Little junior sister, Raphael clasped his hands together and looked at her eagerly. Please do me a favor, I can't make an appointment with her, I can only rely on you. If I can have dinner with AOAO, what do you say? Anything you ask for, please. The whole box was silent. All the members of the studio looked at Raphael as if they had seen a ghost. The manager's assistant took a deep breath and almost fell over with the chair. Outside the Free State, the face of the Duke of Miston was so well known that almost everyone knew it. Sang Yanking knew that SI fucking had a relationship with Raphael, but he didn't expect that SI fucking was the overwhelming one in this relationship. Get up, don't act like a baby. SI fucking immediately hid behind Uzion. If you act like a baby again, I will let my boyfriend beat you. Hearing this, Uzion raised her hand to rub her hair, and smiled faintly. Don't bully sixth senior brother. Raphael. He was sad and angry. Who is bullying whom? Well, since you've been single for so long, I reluctantly called AOAO. SI Fu shook his phone. Before I declare, I won't help you chase my friend. You want to be yourself superior. No problem, Raphael nodded with satisfaction. You said that this love variety show is to help guests assign partners, and I will definitely be able to succeed. Sang Yanking was choked, cough cough cough. If it was possible to assign objects, this variety show would have been overwhelmed long ago, right? SI fucking had just sent an invitation message to Odile, when a phone call came in. She picked it up. In the receiver, Yoon Ying's faint voice came, Yoonju. When SI Fu heard him call her that, he had a bad premonition, huh? Next second. I think you are stupid after returning to the entertainment industry. SI fucking. She just knew it. I have no intention of falling in love, Yoon Ying said unhurriedly, but since you have invited me so sincerely, I will reluctantly be an observer and observe your love life. SI fucking. Well, that's it, Yoon Ying said lazily. Hang up. Beep beep. Raphael probed, a little confused. What do you mean by observer? SI fucking turned around, and said quietly, actually, if you let the big brother come to the entertainment industry, he will also be the chairman of the discipline committee. Why does Yoon Ying know so much when she is not in the entertainment industry? Junior sister, it's just fine that he's not a guest in love, Raphael said righteously. I'm afraid his face will deceive the innocent little girl. Sang Yanking looked at Raphael's face, who was named among the top 10 most handsome faces in the world every year, and fell into silence. Next, Yuan Mingqi said that he could come and join in the fun. Because Yun's Hang is in the critical stage of developing new products recently, Lang Xian can't spare time, so he can only come to visit them when he is free. Okay, everyone is here. Si Fu leaned up, Sister Sang, let's go, let's meet the director. As she spoke, she turned back and pinched Uzion's palm. Wait for me. Uzion raised her eyes and smiled slightly. Well, go, I've been waiting for you. Raphael watched the interaction between the two, and his heart began to bubble sourly. Snort. When he falls in love, he will let the whole world know. Make them all jealous of him. 30 minutes later, Daxia Terrace, the director's office. Director Chi Sang Yanking knocked on the door first. Is it convenient for you now? Convenient. Very convenient. After hearing this, Director Chi came over to open the door in person. Ms. Sang, I have been waiting for you for a long time, you. When his gaze fell on the girl behind Sang Yanking, he froze instantly. A few seconds later, as if he had just realized it, he jumped up instantly. Ms. Sang, you actually brought teacher Si here directly. He also found out about Sci-Fi's return to the entertainment industry on Weibo 2 hours ago. He was so shocked that the phone dropped and hit his foot. He planned to visit Sci-Fi in the studio the next day. Who would have thought that the real person would appear before his eyes? Director Chi, hello. Sci-Fi stretched out his hand and blinked. Nice to meet you. I am very happy too, Director Chi stammered. I, what? What are you stuttering? A hand slapped his head angrily, and another voice rang out, Mr. Si, my junior is also a fan of yours. Don't take it for granted that I can't calm down when I see a real person. Oh, Director Chin, Sang Yanking was pleasantly surprised. Why are you here? Ms. Sang. Director Chin nodded and grinned. Just now Xiao Qi asked me to teach him the experience of teaching survival variety shows, and I happened to talk about Mr. Si. I didn't expect that CAO would be here soon. Si nodded. Director Chin and I still have such a good understanding. I don't know what he thought of. Director Chin's smile froze suddenly. That is. Please come in. Director Chi hurriedly said. Mr. Si, can I have an autograph? No problem. Si took out one of the autographed photos he carried and handed it to Director Chi. Sang Yanking was surprised. When did you prepare this? Of course you have to be ready when you decide to come back. Si snapped her fingers. She sat down, nodded and said, Director Chi, I'm here today because I want to take part in the variety show Single Going to Hell. I don't know, is there any room for guests? Yes. Of course there is. Director Chi jumped up and clenched his hands tightly. Mr. Si, am I dreaming? Are you really here to participate? Since 66 Days to Survive became popular all over the summer, many companies have also followed suit and produced several survival variety shows, but unfortunately they all fell silently. Director Chi is also very worried about this, so he has been asking Director Chin for advice during this time. Really, not only Ching Ching is here, but several of her senior brothers are also here. Sang Yanking smiled. If you don't have enough people here, we can continue to pull people from Ching Ching. Director Chi was ecstatic. That's really a big thank you, Teacher Si. Director Chin's eyelids twitched. Those who support and pull. Are they really normal people? He was very worried about the mental state of the entire network after the show started live. Okay, then it's settled, and I won't disturb your work. Sang Yanking said. Contact me at any time if you have anything to do. We will always be dedicated. Yes, Mr. Si is too dedicated. Director Chi also sighed. I just came back to shoot variety shows, and I won't take more rest. Director Chin only felt it too thick. This is the ignorant newcomer. It was clearly the high prize money of the variety show that seduced a certain female star. Si's eyes suddenly swept over, her foxy eyes were bent, and she looked at him with a smile. Director Chin couldn't help shivering, and hurriedly said, Mr. Si, I haven't seen you for a few years, and you are even more beautiful. Yes, Director Chi also said, Mr. Si looks like a fairy now. Si raised his eyebrows. I have vision, so I guess. After being washed by the power of gods and demons, her physical strength is naturally not comparable to before. After sending Si and Sang Yanking out, Director Chi was still very excited. Senior Chin, I actually invited Teacher Si. This variety show is definitely a hit. Si title as Queen of Variety Shows wasn't built on her own. Even Chin Zio, who debuted under her name, couldn't match her in this field. Xiao Qi. Director Chin suddenly sighed heavily. Director Chi inexplicably felt numb all over his body. Senior Chin, what do you mean by looking at me like that? Xiao Qi, there are some things you haven't touched before. Director Chin patted him on the shoulder. As for me, as someone who has experienced it, I have to tell you well. Director Chi looked serious. Senior Chin, tell me. As soon as he graduated from graduate school, he joined Daxia TV. This is his first variety show directed as a director, which is very important to him. As director, Chin is the leader in this industry. A few pointers can benefit him a lot. Always keep quick acting heart rescuing pills. Director Chin stuffed a bottle of medicine into Director Chi's hands. Teacher Si must remember to take one before going out, or I'm afraid you will go to the hospital. Director Chi. On the way. Yu Zian parked the car in front of the villa. Feng San and Zijiang immediately drove the car into the garage. Surnamed Yu, Si fucking carried a box of fried chicken. I brought you supper. Yu Huixu's calm voice came from upstairs. It's already go. Si fucking sighed. Don't talk to people who don't eat fried chicken. As soon as the sentence fell, the box in her hand flew out automatically, and was caught by Yu Huixu, who went downstairs. You are still the same as before, you like eating these things so much. Every time I fight with you, I will consume a lot of energy. Si fucking rubbed his stomach. I'm picky and don't like glucose injections, so I'm used to eating fried chicken. Yu Huixu snorted faintly. Children have a temper. Although she said so, she still opened the box, put on her gloves, picked up a piece of fried chicken and ate it calmly. How does it taste? Si Fu leaned his elbows to look at her. I knew you would definitely not reject me. It's okay. Yu Huixu nodded. Let's talk. Every time you bring me food, something will trick me. I was discovered by you. Dang dang. Si fucking pulled out a piece of paper from his bag. I'm here to invite you to be on the romance show. Yu Huixu looked at the registration form silently. What does liaison mean? Love variety show. Si fucking pointed to the words on it. It's a love reality show, about dating, you know. Yu Huixu slowly raised her eyes. Are you really not afraid that you will be beaten to death before you ask me to sign the registration form? Si fucking raised his eyebrows. It's not that I want you to fall in love, what I gave you is the observer's registration confirmation form. This single going to hell love variety show is divided into love guests and observers. The observers are responsible for observing the details and emotional trends of the daily relationship of the guests in love, so as to analyze the feelings of the guests for the audience and give the guests a front line. Yu Huixu was thoughtful. It sounds like it's also very interesting. She nodded and signed her name on the confirmation registration form. She likes to read gossip. Good sister. Si fucking put his arms around her shoulders. Shall we sleep together tonight? Yu Huixu looked at her calmly. No, you kick the quilt at night. I don't want to cover you. Si fucking. In the past, only Ye Wanlin knew about her kicking the quilt at night. Why did my sister tell it? Ching ching. Yu Zian stood at the door and called out to her. The iris you like is blooming, come and have a look. Si fucking immediately forgot about her kicking the quilt. Here we come. Yu Huixu looked at the background where the two walked away side by side, and a rare smile appeared between her brows and eyes. Children. In this way, it is really good. The next day. Si fucking's topic on Weibo is still high, and all the stars in the entertainment industry are indeed in chaos because of this. For a while, the major studio teams also began to formulate new strategies. Why is Si fucking back? I must never be on the same stage with her, otherwise she will definitely find out about my cheating. Inquire about what activities Si fucking will participate in, and avoid her. I don't have any dark spots on my body, but I will only be crushed if I am on the same stage with her. I don't want to be a foil. Is it the opposite? With Si fucking's personality, as long as you don't do bad things, she will give you the camera. Qin Zhao also heard the news about other celebrities from Ruan Changfang, and was a little upset. She sneered, as soon as Si fucking comes back, these people are like a mouse seeing a cat, they have no self at all. She won't back down, she wants to compete with Si fucking. Leave her alone. Ruan Changfang glanced at the time. Let's make arrangements for liaison first. The assistant director hurried out at this moment. Miss Qin, Ms. Ruan, it's like this, our number of observers is already full, and you can only recommend 2 more people here. Assistant Director, what do you mean? Chin Zio frowned, and said displeasedly, it was agreed at the time, did I find all the observers? If the observer is one of his own, it can bring her more heat and hot spots. After all, in the romance show, the observer played a role similar to that of the host, and would only say good things about her, not bad things about her. Before the assistant director could speak, Chin Zio smiled slightly. Assistant director, you backtracked, I disagree, either let me recommend them all, or I quit this variety show, you choose. Single and Going to Hell is the first survival love variety show in Great Xia Empire, and the director is also a newcomer. Although it was produced by Daxia TV, there were not many big stars to participate, and everyone was watching. Chin Zio's coffee position and flow rate are the highest. If she doesn't participate, what kind of splash will this love drama have? I saw some readers saying, how can the 6th child with such an EQ and IQ still become a duke and earn a lot of money? It's like this, if you think he's stupid in front of his brothers and sisters, and I've only written about this side of him. When it comes to the outside world, 6th senior brother is very vicious. Fanwai will write about his side. Ching Ching is also a group favorite in the eternal 4-person group. In fact, my original setting, except for Ye Wanlin, Lu Qingning and Yu Huixu are both dead. Then Tan Jingmo voluntarily entered the shackles of time and space, and Ching Ching met the person Yu Huixu liked while sweeping the tomb, but she was not looking at him, but the person Yu Huixu had loved for many years and her immortal youth. This setting was past, but the aesthetics of E is really beautiful. When I wrote about Jiang's family, it was a kind of heroic and sad beauty. The prototypes of the love dramas in the episode come from love variety shows such as Signal of Heartbeat, Single is Hell, Love Catcher, etc. It is emphasized that it has nothing to do with any 3-dimensional stars. Please do not substitute. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 997. Miss Chin, there was indeed a shortage of people in the program team at that time. You said you could find someone, and we really welcome it. The assistant director did not bow down as Chin Zio thought, begging her to stay, but looked at her calmly. But it didn't say that everyone must be handed over to you, and everyone's contract is also independent. Chin Zio frowned, and his tone became cold. What do you mean? Literally, I don't mean to offend Ms. Chin. The assistant director was very polite. If you really don't want to be in this variety show, then you won't be in this variety show, and the contract has not been signed. Ms. Chin can go back now. This sentence was like a slap on Chin Zio's face, which made her unable to recover immediately. Chin Zio looked at the assistant director in disbelief, and suddenly became angry. Do you know what you are talking about? How many times have I pushed the announcement to join your program, and you actually asked me to quit at a critical moment? If she hadn't wanted to copy Sci-fi's line one by one, she would never have agreed to join the survival drama Single and Going to Hell. For this variety show, she reluctantly turned down several big variety shows on Xin Guang channel. Chin Zio has already made up her mind that after she finishes filming Single Goes to Hell, she will go to Great Summer Treasure Phase 2. What Sci-fi has, she wants. Miss Chin, you're really interesting. The assistant director's expression also turned cold. Did you forget that you were the one who said you would quit first? Our program group has met your request, so what's your name here? There was a bit of sarcasm in his expression. Chin Zio felt very uncomfortable all over. Assistant director, don't be angry. Ruan Chengfang hurriedly stepped forward. Our Zio filmed all night yesterday, and we haven't recovered yet, and our temper has become a little bit worse, but she has already found observers, all of whom are big names in the industry. Look at this. Ruan Chenfang's heart was actually suppressed. But she knows that she can't be too rigid in doing things, otherwise rigidity will break, and it will have counterproductive consequences. No contract, no discussion, the assistant director said flatly. Either, you withdraw from the show yourself, or don't meddle in the selection of observers. In the blink of an eye, the situation was reversed. Chinzia was so angry that her eyes were red. She gritted her teeth, and tried to smile. Assistant director, I also lost my head for a while. I promised you, of course I will participate. This sentence has used up all her self-esteem, and her fingers are shaking. But she had to bow her head. Originally, she planned to gradually replace Sci-fucking and swallow Sci-fucking's huge fan base. But Sci-fucking's sudden return caught her by surprise, and she couldn't wait any longer. Then please, Ms. Jean, arrive at the assembly point on time at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning. The assistant director nodded without saying anything, and quickly turned and left. Sister Ruan, Chinzia was very aggrieved. What does the program group mean? It's condescension for me to come to their program. Why do they treat me like this? How many variety shows want to invite her top performer to support the scene, but she is here to suffer this kind of anger. Strange. Ruan Chengfang frowned. The show team suddenly has such a strong confidence. Could it be possible to invite a senior who is bigger than you? She has been an agent in this circle for more than 10 years, so she naturally thinks more deeply than Chinzia. Chinzia's stardom can be said to be paved by the company behind her, Juzhong Entertainment, which analyzed Sci-fucking's various hotspots and used all means. It went smoothly without any setbacks. It's possible. Chinzia let out a sigh of relief and said coldly, but even seniors are only stronger than me. In terms of topics and traffic, no one is better than me now. Most of the old-timers will not gain popularity or hype on the internet. Let's go back and prepare first. Ruan Chengfang shook his head. Zia, don't worry, the company will find a way to put a few people in to take care of you, and ensure that all the live broadcast clips you stream are positive. Chinzia nodded unwillingly. The two went out. Before taking a few steps, I heard a commotion outside. Sister sang. Where's Teacher Si? Didn't you come with you? Sister sang, can you please ask Teacher Si to sign for me? I miss her so much. Sister sang, did Teacher Si say what the next plan is? We are also waiting for her at Daxiatai. Ruan Chengfang stopped and looked back suddenly. Sang Yanking was surrounded by several staff members of Daxia Terrace, and nothing could get through. There must be autographed photos. Sang Yanking took out a stack of photos. We Ching have prepared them a long time ago, one for each person. There are not many. The staff lined up and all got autographed photos, very excited. Teacher Si is too caring. I've seen a lot of celebrities playing big names over the years. Mr. Si is an international top class, and he never gave us a wink. Not only that, MRSSI is the fan favorite. She always comes out to support her fans. She is really very confident as a fan. Chinzia listened, his eyes dimmed a bit. She enjoys the fans' pursuit, but she is actually very tired of the fans' enthusiasm for her. But in order to maintain the goddess persona, she had to be nice to her fans. After the staff got their autographed photos, they returned to their respective workstations. Sang Yanking turned her head and met the eyes of Ruan Chengfang and Chinzia. She raised her eyebrows. Yanking. Ruan Chengfang smirked and stepped forward. Why are you here? Is there something wrong? It's Chengfang. Sang Yanking also smiled slightly. Isn't this Kinking's return? The invitation in my hand was relented, so I came here to have a look. Ruan Chengfang's smile froze a bit. She and Sang Yanking were of the same generation, and they had graduated from the same school before, but in terms of career, Sang Yanking had always dominated her. At that time, Sang Yanking quit the entertainment circle because of Su Lingqi's suicide, and she was secretly happy for a while. In the end, No one expected that Sang Yanking and Si fucking joined forces to directly create a myth in the entertainment circle. Ruan Chengfang quickly smiled again. Zio, this is Yanking, you can call her Sister Sang. Sister Sang Chin Zio nodded slightly, not enthusiastically. Yanking, I also heard that teacher Si is back. Ruan Chengfang continued, MSSI is Zio Senior. Zio likes her very much. I don't know when teacher Si will be free. Let's go visit. There's no need to pay a special visit. Sang Yanking smiled meaningfully, we're in the same circle, and if we look down and don't see each other, we might run into each other someday. After she finished speaking, she didn't stay any longer and got on the elevator. Chin Zio pursed his lips, his palms sweating. She knows how she gets angry. The stars created by capital using traffic are not really based on strength. But Si fucking is genuinely unprecedented, and there will be no one in the future. Even if she copied Si fucking's route, she was too far away from Si fucking's peak period. If she really ran into Si fucking, wouldn't she be completely reduced to a foil? Chin Zio panicked uncontrollably. Zio, don't worry. Ruan Chengfang comforted her, with Si fucking status, she will definitely not bump into you right now. You can record variety shows at ease, and the company will arrange other things for you. Chin Zio nodded lightly, okay. In the evening, in the small courtyard of the villa, the bonfire was lit and it was very lively. Fuzang was grilling meat, Si Fukin squatted aside, and Mao Mao poked his head. Missy is here too. On the other side, Odile raised her eyebrows, why did you come to participate in this kind of program? You couldn't be coerced by her, right? Kuchimu Minjaya held Tiankanjayun's sword, leaned against the tree, expressionless, no, it's it. Odile paused and turned around. At a glance, I saw the miniature Yamata no Orakai jumping in circles excitedly, and said a lot of things she didn't understand. Odile stretched her waist, I'm just wandering around when I'm idle and bored. It had been 3 years, and the battle between gods and demons was still deeply in her memory. In the past 3 years, she has visited Si fucking many times, but she has not been able to see him. Now that Si fucking has returned successfully, she finally breathed a sigh of relief and can relax properly. Boss, I advise you to do well as an observer, Raphael said, don't spoil my good deeds. What good thing? Yuning glanced at him and smiled, that depends on your performance. I knew you wanted to mess with me. Raphael was furious, you're just here to gossip. What? Is there gossip to watch? I'll go too. Fuzang's ears moved, I haven't participated in such a program yet. Yu Huixia glanced at her and snorted faintly, you have never participated in a show at all. Fuzang. She doesn't care about Yu Huixia. In the past, she actually discovered some strange things about the goddess of death. The goddess of death has always been unreasonable, and it has always been Yu Huixia who would quarrel with her. I want to be an observer, Fuzang said confidently, if you don't agree, I'll cry for you. Wow. She cried as soon as she said, and the tears fell like rain. Si fucking. Yuning. With an expression that he really couldn't help you, he handed over the observer confirmation form. Fuzang stopped crying and happily signed his name. Yu Tang ran over slowly, and hugged Si fucking with tears in his eyes. Ching ching, the CP I knocked on is finally going to come true. Didn't it come true a long time ago? Si fucking patted her on the back and raised his eyebrows, it's just that it hasn't been made public yet. Only when it's made public can I smack CP openly. Yu Tang spoke righteously and clenched his fists, I'm the #1 CP fan. Do you want to go to Lianzhou to play? Si fucking asked, where's Lu Xingheng? He's going to the Eternal Continent, saying he's looking for some medicine. Yu Tang smiled, I won't go, I'll make data for you. Si fucking patted her head, okay, my #1 fan. Yu Tang held her face in silly joy, and inadvertently raised her head to meet Yu Xian's gaze, and she hesitated for a moment. 9, Uncle 9, I don't want to occupy Ching Ching anymore, I'll give it to you, I'll give it all to you. After speaking, she ran away quickly. Sci-Fu tilted his chin. Ninth brother, you're scary again. Uzian was non-committal, and said in a flat voice, I just glanced at her, why did you scare her? It is said in the book that just one look from Emperor Yin can scare the enemy into suicide. It's just unofficial history. He raised his hand towards her and smiled, come here, I'll bake it for you. Si fucking pointed at the chicken leg, I want to eat this. He leaned on her and picked up a bunch of chicken legs, well, good. On Saturday, at 7 o'clock in the morning, at the Nanzhou Wharf. The program team of Single Going to Hell is already waiting by the boat. In addition to Qin Ziyu, there are also several love guests who participated in the show who debuted from Youth last year. These young students were all in their early 20s, they turned their heads frequently, secretly looking at Qin Ziyu. It is undeniable that Qin Ziyu has a very outstanding face, although it is not as good as his boss Fu Qing's, but in the past 3 years in the entertainment circle where aesthetics have been downgraded, it is already a crushing face. Qin Ziyu enjoyed the gaze very much. She glanced a little haughtily at the other female stars, and even gained a very high sense of satisfaction. Are you going to take a boat to a deserted island today? A female star asked. Mr. Qin, I heard that you are good at surviving. The live broadcast hadn't started yet, so Qin Ziyu ignored her. The female star wasn't angry either, she just rolled her eyes, that means Si fucking isn't here, or it's your turn to show off your power here. Qin Ziyu's eyes turned cold, and he was about to reprimand when the applause just broke out. The observers arrived, and the live broadcast officially began. As several figures walked in, at the same time, an introduction appeared at the bottom of the screen. Observer, Cloud Shadow. Observer, Fuzu. Observer, Yu Huixiu. The three broke into the camera, and the originally silent live broadcast room suddenly boiled. Ah! What kind of face value is this, does it really exist? 3 seconds, I want all the information on this man. This young lady is so cute, oh my god, how could there be such a lovely young lady with a special name, Fuzang? Sister, you marry me. I can see so many beauties, it is my good fortune and good fortune. While netizens were frantically licking their screens, Qin Ziyu's fans were getting a little impatient. Why are there still a few guests not here? We, Ziyu, have been here for half an hour. Ziyu is only 19 years old this year, as a junior, she had already done her duty with all her heart, but now the seniors are still playing big names. Let's see what the amazing top stream is playing big here. What's the meaning? Let's weep more and more? Do you think you are more famous than Ziyu? What, you thought you were Si fucking? Just then, the camera suddenly turned in one direction. There is only one figure in the frame. As the figure approached, the face of the visitor was finally exposed to everyone's sight. Fox eyes, icy muscles, and fine bones, long dark red hair scattered in the sunlight, shining brilliantly. When the camera focused on the girl's flawless face, which could be called an upside-down sentient being, all the barrage disappeared completely. Good morning. The great demon King Ching Ching is back. It's the end of the month, please ask for a ticket. Immediately it will be a couple CP Chaos doing 2333. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 998. Si fucking still has a sense of the camera, she bent her foxy eyes, raised her hand to face the camera and waved to the netizens in front of the screen to say hello, hi everyone. There was still silence. But then, a crazy barrage swept over. What did I see? Shit, it's real Si fucking, it's a living Si fucking. Am I still dreaming? Pinch me up. The director actually invited SI fucking, I underestimated you kid. The muses don't have much interest in the variety show Single and Going to Hell, but a few fans who like survival variety shows will take a special look. As soon as SI fucking came out, the number of people in the live broadcast room began to skyrocket, which could be called a terrifying number. I am coming. Baby ching ching, let mommy hug you. I just saw someone say that my baby is in a relationship, and I still don't believe it. I didn't expect to click in and get real. There are new pictures to save. Ching ching, I don't know if I should say something. I remember that this variety show seems to involve cooking. You're not good at it, are you? Let me come, I will cook for you. Come here, quickly drag the black fan upstairs out. Survival on a deserted island is your sister's forte, brothers and sisters. I heard that this time you are going to a real desert island. There are sharks. Wait for your sister to ride the shark. Of course, there are also black fans who are ridiculed in a strange way. No work for 3 years, and I went to Liaozong just after I came back. Do you know that I am exhausted? SI fucking has also started to shoot variety show topics like traffic, which is really boring. It's just that such words were quickly overwhelmed by the swarming moose army. It has been 3 full years, and with SI fucking's disappearance, all the moose have also disappeared. But they didn't give in, just a temporary silence, just waiting for the return of the person they like. They are willing to continue to follow. In just a few minutes, the number of people in the live broadcast room exceeded 100 million. There are even many foreign fans who come here specially to watch variety shows simultaneously. This is the real top traffic, plus the strength of top actors. Chin Xiao is known as Xiao Si fucking. In the past 2 years, she has only brought 20 million people to watch the live broadcast, and she has been completely crushed. The Musi Legion is telling everyone that SI fucking has been absent for 3 years, but the entertainment industry will still live under her rule. As long as she wants, the entertainment industry is hers. No one can replace her. King's ostentation is so grand. Fuzang loud, now Ching Ching is even more beautiful. Yuning raised her eyes lazily, and said flatly, she likes these. Yu Huixu watched quietly, her brows and eyes slightly raised, and she suddenly recalled when SI fucking was still Yunlin. The moment she received the award from Glenn was shining, even her eyes were bright. A person like her should stand on the stage, under thousands of lights, so that she can shine her own brilliance. It's a pity, there are still 2 people who can't see it. Yu Huixu let out a breath slowly, looking at the blue sky. Now that the darkness has receded, the light has returned. She believed that they would meet again. SI fucking did not carry a few boxes of luggage like Chin Xiao did, but simply carried a bag on his right shoulder. She walked in unhurriedly, boarded the boat, picked an empty seat at random and sat down. After she sat down, the atmosphere obviously froze a lot. Chin Xiao was also very uncomfortable, her body was so stiff that she didn't even dare to raise her head. Her nails had dug into the palm of her hand. What did SI fucking come to participate in the romance show? Isn't this self-declination? Chin Xiao snorted coldly in his heart. Sure enough, as she expected, seeing that she was popular, SI fucking couldn't sit still, so he specially came to participate in the same variety show with her. SI, teacher SI, a boy stammered, I am your fan. Can you give me an autograph? No problem. SI fucking skillfully took out a stack of autographed photos, here's one for you. The boy took it and was very excited, teacher SI, I'm also from youth. I watched the first season from beginning to end. Thank you very much for exposing the faces of those disgusting people on the last night of forming a group. Someone's dream is very pure, just want to stand on the stage, dance, and sing. The boy knew very well that if it hadn't been for SI fucking's violent rebellion against the investors on the night of the group formation, such talent show variety shows would only be reduced to playthings in the future. Me too, a girl also said excitedly. I was still in high school when Teacher SI debuted, and now I have graduated from college. SI fucking sighed, don't mention our age, we are still good friends. Teacher SI is young, only 24 years old. Someone laughed loudly, she's still a little girl. Chinzio moved his lips, trying to speak, but failed several times. She took a deep breath, pretended to be a little dizzy, and went to the deck to blow the air. Does it make you feel that Chinzio and SI fucking are at odds? What's wrong? Does Ching Ching know her? What's wrong with not knowing? Who doesn't know that Chinzio stepped on SI fucking and sucked SI fucking's blood to rise to power? Now that the real master is here, the fake ones should show up. Take Zio away, please. Some seniors take care of their fans, and stop being weird here. Zio has made it to today step by step, she has strength. I admit that she is indeed not as good as SI fucking now, but SI fucking made her debut earlier than her. If she debuted at the same time, who is the best? At this time, a new figure broke into the camera. The bottom right corner of the screen also gives the information of the comer. Love guest, Yuan Mingqi. Love guest, Kukaki Minjiao. The two approached and once again silenced the audience. Yamata no Orakai also wanted to come out to say hello, but Kukaki Minjiao told it that although it has an entity, this is not Liberty Island, and it cannot run out to scare people. It had no choice but to lie in Yuan Mingqi's clothes pocket aggrieved, and while the two were not paying attention, it carefully poked out one of its heads, rolling its eyes around. Where did the director find so many handsome men and beauties? Are you mining this name? Dongsang people? Wow! Is that the scabbard behind Kukaki-san? So imposing. I'm in love again, thanks to the program group, for allowing me to fall in love with countless people in 1 minute. The assistant director swallowed hard. Director Chi, are you really not under a lot of pressure? You can see that the number of viewers of the live broadcast is already the same as the last episode of Daxia Treasure. Director Chi's eyes were blank. I thought the number of people would soar after Mr. SI played, but I didn't expect it to soar so much. I don't know where Teacher SI found these people. The deputy director breathed a sigh of relief. It's too scary. Director Chi was silent for a moment, then immediately took out the medicine bottle that Director Chin gave him from his pocket, poured it out and swallowed it one by one. He was afraid that if he didn't eat in advance, he might not be able to last until the show officially started filming. Behind Kukaki Minjiao and Yuan Mingqi, Odile also came. She has a typical Western mainland figure, graceful and graceful. A head of beautiful platinum long curly hair was tied up high with a hair rope, revealing her fair neck. She was a beautiful girl with a slender waist and long legs. Netizens stared blankly again. I declare that Miss Odile is my new wife. This leg, this waist, what a good day it is today. Is there any more? Relationships should be talked about with beautiful people. Why did Chinzio suddenly feel bleak? Compared with it, I deeply suspect that the aesthetics of domestic entertainment will be downgraded. Chinzio can become a top class, and his strength and appearance are naturally not bad. But in front of Kukaki Minjiao and Odilia, two beauties with completely different styles, she suddenly faded away. Odile brushed her hair and sat down. I thought I was the last one to come, but it doesn't seem too late. On the other side, on the deck. Sister Ruan, are they from the entertainment industry? Chinzio pursed his lower lip and lowered his voice. Why haven't I seen them before? Ruan Chengfang was uncertain. Should they be amateurs? But are all amateurs so handsome now? She is a senior manager with a vicious eye, and she can tell at a glance whether the trainees have the ability to make their debut. Chinzio was caught by her at a glance, and could be a perfect meal replacement for SI fucking. It turns out they managed to do that too. It's just that SI fucking came back suddenly and caught her by surprise. But who can tell her, Why is it that an ordinary person now has such an unnatural appearance and temperament? Originally, Shinzaya was only suppressed by SI fucking, but now he was overwhelmed by two amateurs in terms of appearance and temperament. Damn it, Ruan Chengfang was very annoyed. I should have realized that SI fucking participated in this variety show when I saw Sang yanking that day, and I shouldn't have let you come. Sister Ruan, it's okay. Shinzaya had already calmed down. The soldiers came to cover up the water. Since she is going to participate in the same variety show as me, I just happened to compete with her. Zio, you. Ruan Chengfang frowned. Don't underestimate the enemy. You have to admit that you are really not as good as SI fucking now. Yes, I admit it, Shinzio said lightly, but Sister Ruan, which rising star do you think will suddenly disappear for 3 years? Guess what she did in these 3 years? I'm afraid it's not a good thing. Ruan Chengfang fell silent, and finally gritted her teeth and said, you just need to be careful, otherwise. Before she finished speaking, she heard a few exclamations from the boat. Ruan Chengfang's heart skipped a beat, and she looked back. The man is slender and tall, walking slowly. He raised his head, revealing a perfect jawline. He originally had a face that turned all living beings upside down, but the aura around him actually overwhelmed his eyebrows and eyes, making everyone dumbfounded. The barrage was emptied again. Half a minute later, the entire screen was covered by exclamation marks and question marks. I'm blind? Yu Zion. This is Yu Zion. God, how on earth did the director convince him to bring him in? For 3 years I'm still watching the last issue of Great Xia Treasure over and over again. I don't care, Yu Zion is Yinhuang alive. Sitting up in a dying dream, my CP is sugary, no one cares about me, we are together in the same frame. After all, Yu Zion is different from SI fucking, not an insider. Although Lianzone would indeed invite amateurs to participate in the show, no one thought that the show crew could invite such a big Buddha. Director Chi secretly sweated. Both he and Director Chin combined can't do this, who else can do it except SI fucking? At the same time, here in Freedom. Even Director Chi didn't know that the variety show Single Going to Hell was broadcast simultaneously in Liberty Island. Regardless of her other identities, with the role of a star, SI fucking has long been a hit in Liberty Island. Not to mention her contribution to the Free State, saving the lives of hundreds of millions of people, is the belief of all the people of the continent. It's just that at this moment, the citizens are all watching the live broadcast blankly, with very dazed expressions. Eldest brother, went to the romance show. Miss Huixiu didn't succeed Yu's family, so she also went to love? Is that the Lord of the Palace of Longevity? Damn, it's exactly the same as the photos recorded in the game database. Idiot, can't you see the name on her badge? It is the Lord of the Palace of Longevity. I'm going to faint, someone help me. One after another, Tsukimi also arrived as one of the observers. Wearing a tight black dress, she waved lazily towards the camera. All the people of the Free State are stupid. The observers here pick one at random, and they are all existences that can shake Freedom Continent 3 times. There is only one person in the world who can move them and get them together. Awesome, today is the team building day on the top of the cloud, right? SI fucking, as expected of you. Netizens of the Great Xia Empire didn't know the identities of Yu Jian and the others, but they were all impressed by their appearance and temperament. The number of live broadcasts further increased, breaking through the 200 million mark. Okay, our guests and observers are all here. Director Chi wiped his sweat and walked out. Now the ship is about to sail away to a deserted island, everyone get ready. Odile scanned around, but did not find Raphael. Is there someone missing? Yuning crossed her arms, her eyes half closed. I don't know where I went, just kick it out. Teacher SI. The assistant director also quietly asked SI fucking, isn't the other guest you invited coming? He fucking was thoughtful. He heard that you guys are going to film a movie on a deserted island, so he went there first and bought the island. It's convenient for him to use. Deputy Director. He knew every word, but suddenly he couldn't understand it when they were linked together. 2 hours later, the boat was about to dock. Director Chi, the staff had sharp eyes. There is someone on the island. Director Chi followed the direction of his fingers. Raphael took off his sunglasses and waved to the people on board. Hi, hi. Hello, everyone. The camera was also focused on his face and his hair that was as brilliant as gold. A few seconds later, some netizens tremblingly posted barrage. Duke Miston. Good morning. At the end, I said that in order to ensure the continuity of the plot, the episode will not be divided into chapters. It can also be divided into chapters, but the number of words will remain the same. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 999. Raphael Miston, 1st Duke of the Duchy of Miston. Among all the people present, only his international reputation can be equal to that of Sci-fucking. No one would not recognize his too eye-catching face. Netizens thought they could get used to it after being shocked many times by the guests, but they were still completely shocked at this moment. Does the program group have the handle of the Duchy of Miston? Why did the Duke of Miston be invited here? Director, you can't do it. You can. I can't even figure out why the Duke of Miston came. He is not short of money, let alone a partner, right? Every year, the man he most wants to marry in the world has never fallen out of the top 3. Director, come out and talk, come out. Director Chi stared at Raphael with wide eyes. His legs couldn't help but go limp, and he almost fell into the sea. The assistant director quickly supported him. Director Chi, what's wrong with you? Director Chi struggled to stand up while leaning on the railing. He said tremblingly, happy. I'm so happy. Until now, he finally understood why Director Chin looked at him with pity before the trip. Whose heart can withstand such a fright? By the way, Director Chi, the assistant director, lowered his voice. Mr. Si told me just now that His Highness the Duke went to the island early for convenience and bought the island. Director Chi? Director Chi, wake up. Director Chi just wanted to faint completely. He wiped his face and began to worry about the next shooting. Whether it is Si fucking herself or every guest she invites, they are all like giant Buddhas. The number of people in the live broadcast room skyrocketed again, but no one paid attention to Chin Zio, the new top streamer. When Chin Zio saw Si fucking appearing, he already realized that something was wrong, and Uzian and Raphael immediately smashed her into the eyes. No wonder the assistant director didn't even try to persuade her to stay when she proposed to quit the show. It turned out that there were so many big names gathered here. Then what is she worth? Chin Zio took a deep breath, only feeling that she had been completely tricked. She was supposed to lead all the guests to survive alone, but now she was set off as the background board. Who can stand it? Zio, great opportunity. Ruan Chengfang became excited. The ratings of this program must be explosive, and with the Duke of Miston, it will definitely be broadcast live globally simultaneously. This is your chance to go international. Hearing this sentence, Chin Zio's eyes moved. Sister Ruan means that you want me to make friends with Duke Miston. Not only the Duke of Miston, but also Mr. Yu. Ruan Chengfang lowered his voice. Although the others are amateurs, their temperament is very outstanding. They must be from extremely prominent hermit families. Although this kind of family doesn't show up in public very much, its power and financial resources are not low. We must seize the opportunity. Chin Zio pursed his lips and nodded slightly. I will try. She also felt a little fiery in her heart. You can make up your own mind, Ruan Chengfang said. Let's go, we're getting off the boat. Chin Zio disembarked with the other guests. The managers and staff had specific residences and did not travel with the stars. Ruan Chengfang watched Qin Zhao leave, feeling a little worried. At this time, a voice sounded from behind, "You only want to rely on others, not yourself, you are not worthy of your name." Ruan Chengfang's heart sank, she turned her head abruptly, and faced the smiling Sang Yanqing. "What nonsense are you talking about? We Zhao have come to the present step by step, relying on her strength." Strength? Of course, there must be strength, otherwise you won't even be able to turn the tide. Sang Yanqing raised his eyebrows, "But if you really have strength, how can you be a good learner?" Ruan Chenfang's expression changed. "But I haven't learned the essence of learning." The top class with 20 million viewers, Sang Yanqing nodded, "I have never seen such a poor top class. The students brought out by our family are all better than this great learners. Xiaoyu has gone international completely, and he doesn't play with domestic stars at all, which is a level that Qin Zhao can't touch at all." Ruan Chengfang was very angry. "Be careful what you say. Is it you who accept the show? You must have known in advance that Duke Miston and the others would come." "Yes, isn't this as you wished?" Sang Yanqing smiled, "Since you have invited us so sincerely, Ching Ching will of course accept the variety show single Going to Hell. Sang Yanqing, Ruan Chengfang glared at him, unable to restrain his anger at all. "You did it on purpose." "Of course I did it on purpose." Sang Yanqing crossed her arms and looked at her leisurely. "You know what you have done in the past 3 years, and I don't have to list them one by one. We are different from learning people. Everything depends on strength. I advise you to be honest and don't think about doing all crooked things. Otherwise, I can't guarantee that the position of top class will be kept." Ruan Chengfang was so angry that her teeth were itching. She sneered, "Sang Yanqing, it's because you haven't grasped the past 3 years, how can you blame us? You deserve it." Sang Yanqing ignored her and got off the boat with his assistant. The deserted island is huge, and there is a virgin forest on the island, and a few beast roars can be heard from time to time. Rao is a male guest, his face is a little pale. "Don't worry, everyone." Director Chi has regained his composure. "For this trip, the program team specially hired bodyguards from the Ace Hall of the Daxia Bodyguard Bureau, and will definitely protect everyone's safety." "It's okay." Raphael wrote lightly, "I brought the guards, they are quite useful." Director Chi. "Royal Guard, can it not work? Worthy of being the Duke of Miston, rich and powerful. Wow, this show is really worth it, to be able to see the Royal Guard of the Duchy of Miston." Mr. Si, a female guest asked tremblingly, "Can I walk with your arm? You seem to be the most secure." Si fucking stretched out a hand towards her, happily, "No problem." The female guest was overjoyed, and immediately hugged her. "Mr. Si, my name is Lian Xiao. I grew up watching your drama." No, I also went to college when I watched your drama. I definitely didn't say that you are old mean." Si fucking raised his eyebrows. "Xia Ying's student." "Yeah," Lian Xiao said, "I just graduated the year before last." "Mr. Si, all the students in our class are your fans." Forsythia walked cautiously, but at the same time felt the chill behind her. She looked back, but found nothing unusual. Strangeness. She always feels like someone is watching her. Forsythia only regarded it as her psychological effect, and continued to walk cheerfully holding Si fucking's arm. The team of observers is at the back. Yuning has already entered the role, and commented lightly, "If eyes can kill, this Miss Lian Xiao has died 100 times." Yuejian nodded, "I can feel a strong murderous intent. A possessive desire from a certain emperor." 30 minutes later, everyone arrived at today's residence. "This is the cabin we allocated to the guests." Director Chi was very happy. "Every room is the same, and you can choose the one you like." Director Chi, the assistant director, was dumbfounded. "Is this a log cabin? This is a big villa." Director Chi was taken aback for a moment, then raised his head and opened his eyes to look over. In front of him is not a 3-story wooden house, but a 7-story luxury villa. Oh, Raphael took off his sunglasses and glanced. You guys used to pretend to be too shabby. I had someone modify it a little. Is there any problem? Is this a slight modification? This is a tall building rising from the ground overnight. I found that I still don't know enough about Duke Miston's financial resources. I can watch him flaunt his wealth for 15 days. Chideo's Hung turned his head to look at Si fucking unrequitedly, and said with eyes full, "This is the good man you brought here." He could only wave his hand helplessly and let the guests find their own rooms. After the guests were already in their rooms, the filming of Single Going to Hell officially started. The observers sat down at the long table in the conference room. Our lineup this time is divided into two factions, love catchers and money catchers. Yu Jian glanced at the manuscript, nodded thoughtfully, and continued, "Everyone's choice is confidential, and the guests need to pass during the 15 days of living together. We can gain insight into each other's identities. The love catcher is here for love, and the money catcher is here to get high bonuses." Yuning clasped her hands, full of aura. If the love catcher and the love catcher succeed in matching, then both of them will reap love. The catcher and the love catcher are successfully matched, and the money catcher will get a big bonus. Fuzang coughed solemnly. Of course, if the two money catchers are together, then you will be finished, and you will get nothing. After the introduction of the rules, the live broadcast footage was shown to the 16 love guests who came to participate in the variety show this time. At the same time, a line of words appeared on the screen. Everyone can guess which type of catcher each guest in love will choose. The audience in front of the screen instantly became active. I guess the Duke of Miston is a money catcher, and no one knows how to make money better than him. Baby Ching Ching must also be a money catcher. I finally understand the purpose of her participation in this variety show. There is a bonus, so she must be tempted. His Miss Minjiao looks frosty. I really can't tell what she will choose. Do you think that Mr. Yu is really the reincarnation of Emperor Yin? He obviously has some slight expressions, but I can't see what he is thinking. It's over, I can't even guess it. I can only wait for the announcement of the final program group. After choosing their roles, the guests came out of their rooms. Here, just as Si fucking walked out of the room and was about to go downstairs, a hand suddenly grabbed her wrist and dragged her into the room again. Boom. The door was closed. Si fucking turned his head. Why? I agreed to hide the relationship so that I could get a bonus. She naturally knew who it was, so she didn't do anything. What did you choose? Yu Zion didn't let go, her eyebrows twitched slightly. A love catcher, or a money catcher? Si fucking blinked. You guess. Yu Zion's expression was indifferent. He still hugged her, but changed his position. The cold fingertips landed on her waist, and Si fucking suddenly felt numb all over, and the itching almost made her jump up. You black-hearted monster, she turned over suddenly, and directly pressed him under her body, very fiercely. When did you know that this is my itchy flesh? She had never been on guard against him. Therefore, when his hand held her waist, she didn't stop her. Yu Zion didn't stop her movement either, but just raised her hand and lifted the hair next to her ear. Now I know. Si fucking. 3 seconds later, she picked up the pillow and hit him, shameless big black-hearted monster. After smashing, Si fucking pointed to her hair. You messed up my hair. Yu Zion smiled lightly. Come here and let me tie your hair. Si fucking glanced at him, then took out a rubber band and gave it to him. Did you always tie your hair yourself when you were young? Yeah, Yu Zion said lightly. In the cold palace, there are no palace eunuchs. Didn't you see that? Si fucking blinked and coughed lightly. I saw it, and I poked your face. Did you feel it? The first time she traveled through, she had no entity and was regarded as a ghost by him. When she poked his face, it must have been like a breeze blowing by, and she couldn't feel anything. The girl has strong hands, how can I not feel it? You're talking nonsense. I obviously just poked it very lightly, how can it be powerful? Well, you are not poking my face, but kneading it as dough. At this moment, downstairs, in the living room. It's almost time for dinner, why isn't teacher Si here? Lian Xiao was a little puzzled. Did any of you see that I sent her a WeChat message just now, but she hasn't replied yet? 12 years ago, an international real estate company tried to develop this deserted island, but was forced to terminate it due to some unspeakable force majeure factors. Some people say that the island is haunted by ghosts, while others say that there are huge extinct beasts on the island. Therefore, guests must travel with companions. Maybe Mr. Si went out to find food by himself, Qin Zhao said casually. After all, Mr. Si is the best at surviving. If you are good at survival, you can't go out alone, right? What does it mean to ask everyone to wait here? Si fucking doesn't really think that she will still be so popular 3 years later, does she? What are you playing? I'm sorry, but she is very popular. Take your 20 million top streamer to climb farther. They're all sitting in the living room. I don't know if anyone is going out. Odile raised her eyes and glanced lightly. It seems that she doesn't have any brains. Qin Zhao's movements paused. Apparently he did not expect Odile to attack her so bluntly. She just smiled with a good temper. I didn't mean that. People are on the top, just go up. Odile ignored her and went upstairs. The other celebrity guests looked at each other and followed suit. Director Chi waved his hand. Camera crew, follow up. Good morning. This time it's a group of bigwigs blowing up the scene. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 1000. Director Chi had sharp eyes and found that not only Si fucking was not there, but Yu Zian was also not there. Director Qin didn't expose the relationship between Si fucking and Yu Zian, and Director Chi didn't know about it. He only knew that the ratings were coming. Si fucking and Yu Zian are at the top in their respective fields. If there is a picture of two people together, it will definitely bring an explosive effect. This is a rare explosive point. When Qin Zhao saw that Director Chi even brought a camera crew, Qin Zhao slightly hooked his lips. In fact, she also knew that it was impossible for Si fucking to leave the villa. But after coming down from the room for so long, who knows what is going on? Live variety shows have both advantages and disadvantages. The disadvantage is that they will expose the true personalities of the guests. Therefore, there are very few stars on live variety shows. But Qin Zhao is not afraid. She has been setting up a persona since her debut, and for 3 years, her disguise has been perfect. There are too many right and wrong in the entertainment industry, and she simply doesn't believe that Si fucking is really clean, without any stains. Apart from using this variety show to consolidate her position in the entertainment industry, Qin Zhao was still thinking about how to get Si fucking to give her the seat. She smiled calmly and followed upstairs. Upstairs, in the room, Yu Zian had already tied up Si fucking's hair. His fingers have always been more nimble and ingenious than ordinary people, and he even took out a hairpin and stuck it in her hair. It was a very simple wooden hairpin with a clear green gem embedded in it. All right. Sometimes I feel that things are really strange. Si fucking stroked his hair, and said while holding his chin, I traveled back to see you, and now I meet you again. I didn't expect our parents to meet each other a long time ago. Yes, Yu Zian smiled slightly. This is the greatest gift left by the 4 envoys of time, space, life, and death. Let them meet across time, space, and the distance between life and death. What is eternal is not time and space, but the most sincere and passionate family, friendship, and love. I'm going out first. Si Fu leaned up, and she rubbed her waist. Don't poke my tickle from now on. Hearing this, Zion raised her eyebrows slightly. Well, listen to the girl. It's strange to believe you, Si fucking muttered, big black-hearted monster. He likes to bully her about this kind of thing. Si fucking walked over and opened the door. In an instant, everyone outside the door looked over in unison. Si fucking was silent for a moment. What are you all doing here? Mr. Si, so you are in the room. Lian Xiao was pleasantly surprised. Just now, Teacher Qin said that you might have gone out to find food by yourself, and we were discussing whether to go out to find you. You haven't replied to WeChat. I'm worried about your safety. Si fucking did have this idea, but the plan was temporarily interrupted by Zion. She nodded. I really want to go out to find food. Is anyone with me? As soon as the sentence came out, several young students were moved. This is Si fucking. Beautiful and top-notch, an international actress. As long as I can say one more word to her, it might explode tomorrow. If you can hype CP on the show, even if it's just fake, you will have the enthusiasm to become a first-line star. I'll go out with Teacher Si to look for it. Qin Zio spoke first. She smiled, caring intentionally or unintentionally. Mr. C's face is a little red. Did you do some strenuous exercise just now? It was only then that the others noticed that the girl's fair face was tinged with a faint red. Just like the white clouds reflecting the bright red morning glow, it is really beautiful. Once Qin Zio spoke, her fans would naturally follow her words. Oh, I haven't gone downstairs for so long, so I did something ulterior. Maybe there is someone hiding in the room, who knows what they are doing. Si fucking pinched his face and said casually, it's a little hot. Squeak. The door behind him was pushed open again, and slender legs stepped out, with tight lines and fine and tough muscles. A light voice sounded, very calm, without ups and downs. What are you doing standing here? Why don't you go downstairs? Qin Zio's smile stopped abruptly. The bullet screen in the live broadcast room was also empty in an instant. Only a few exclamation marks drifted past. What the hell did I see? When everyone was downstairs, you two were whispering in the room. Say, what is the relationship between you two? I fainted. My CP is sugary. Good match, good match, good match. I announce that today I will become a CP fan. Except for you and Mingqi and others who had known the truth for a long time, the others, including Director Qi, stared wide-eyed as if they had seen a ghost. You are not here. I came up to find you. Odile raised her eyebrows. I thought you were taken away by wolves in the wild, but I didn't expect to chat in the room. Love variety show, of course, is to fall in love. Zion raised her eyes, and glanced lightly. I'm here to find the girl I like. What's the problem? The audience fell silent again. Si fucking stretched out his hand and pinched Zion's waist. He didn't move his eyebrows, but let her pinch him instead. A lower voice fell beside her ears, and only she could hear it. Ching ching, I'm not afraid. Si fucking. Hateful. No problem, of course there is no problem. As an observer, Fuzang put on a sullen face, pretending to be ignorant. What do love variety shows do if they don't talk about love? We encourage guests to get in touch with each other in private. What does Ching Ching think? Si fucking coughed lightly, without changing his face. We are in contact, and there is still some unpleasantness in chatting with Mr. Yu. He tickled her. Yeah, Zion smiled faintly. I will try my best to change. The word effort is the key point. I will work hard in the future. In other words, like but haven't caught up yet? My CP is real, it is true. Who said I'm a cult CP? Speechless, I never thought that someone like Zion would only look at his face. I thought he would look at his talent. Just look at the face. 3 years can indeed make people forget a lot of things, so I will help you recall them again. Si fucking, the top scorer in the college entrance examination, the perfect score in the test paper, the first in the international entrance examination, the actress of Glenn, the queen of the Grand Slam, the mountain city torrential rain rescued thousands of people, face. The face is the least merit of your sister Si that deserves to be specifically mentioned. Obviously you can rely on your appearance, but you must rely on your strength. Don't go to the moon to touch porcelain with a fake top person you can't compare only with your face. Are you angry? I can smell the sour smell of Chinzio's fans through the screen. I'm so happy that you are so sour. Do you really think everyone is supporting your sister? Chinzio's fans. They were furious, but there was absolutely no way to refute it. When Si fucking didn't come back, in the past 3 years, Chinzio always took the leading position, whether it was the event scene or the variety show. But this time, she was directly set off as the background board. And it is true that 80% of Chinzio's fans have just started chasing stars, and the younger ones really don't know much about Si fucking. Some fans specifically went to check Si fucking's resume, and after the check, they immediately fell silent. Is this a real person? There is such a strong person? I am a fan, I am strong, I like whoever is strong, so that I have motivation. As a result, the Musi watched helplessly as Si fucking's fans started a new round of skyrocketing. On the screen, the live broadcast continued. I'm going to find something to eat. Si fucking squeezed his wrist. What do you want to eat? Odile was not polite. Wild boar. Kukaki Minjaya was expressionless. The crocodile is fine. Fuzang stroked his chin and thought for a while. Then I'll eat the big bear. Si fucking. She smiled. Eating protected animals. I think you want to be sent in. The relationship between the girls is also very good. Love it? It's bad for them, but I agree. I want to watch Ching Ching catch the big bear. The atmosphere was good. Chinzio couldn't stay any longer. She pursed her lower lip, turned around and went downstairs. Song Jinghui liked Chinzio wholeheartedly, and when he saw Chinzio leave, he hurriedly followed. Zio. The other celebrity guests all dispersed one after another, looking for their favorite objects. Raphael struggled to break free from the siege of the girls. Oh, he stopped Odile. What identity did you choose? Money or love? Odile stretched her waist and waved her fingers. I won't tell you. Raphael was very angry. I can tell you. Odile looked at him with folded arms. I don't want to break the rules and leave the show. The rules stipulate that no one is allowed to voluntarily reveal his catcher's identity. Also, don't call me AOAO. Why? Every time I feel like you want to eat Oreos. Aria, killing me. I found a blind spot. The Duke of Miston didn't come to the show just to pursue Miss Lauterbar, did he? The single dog seems to have been kicked hard. Raphael refused to admit defeat, but my junior sister also calls you AOAO. Odile looked at him in surprise. How can you compare with her? Raphael. Who is Duke Miston's junior sister? Which expert? Never heard of it? Smelling the breath of gossip, wait quietly for the identity to be revealed. Netizens are happily looking for their favorite couple CP to knock candy. Single Going to Hell has only been broadcast live for 1 day, and that night, the hot searches exploded. Hashtag SI fucking, Uzion hashtag. Hashtag self-desire couple hashtag. Hashtag value hashtag. Hashtag Chinzio, my face hurts hashtag. The CP fans of selfish couples have always been very Buddhist, and most of them produce their own food and candy in Kaehwa. Just because Uzion and Si fucking had too few public occasions together, they could only watch Great Xia Treasure Yinhuang chapter repeatedly. Today, the simple interaction between the two on the show instantly attracted a large number of netizens into the pit. The popularity of Chow Chow instantly surpassed that of Si fucking and Zhang Changning's Jiangxi CP. There are also new clips for the moose. Of course, all the drafts issued by Chinzio's team before were also turned up. Chinzio's fans made me laugh so hard, they waited for a few minutes longer even before the final meeting time, and then began to say that other guests were playing tricks, and mocked that you thought you were SI fucking? I saw it too. In the end, SI fucking really came, and asked you if your face hurts? Why do you have the nerve to call yourself Xiao SI fucking? SI fucking is not old, is he? If you are not yet 25 years old, please ask the female star surnamed Qin to walk alone, and don't go to the moon to touch the Queen of Porcelain Glen. Does anyone think that Qin Zio is a bit tea? The few words she said seemed to care about SI fucking, but they were not. Ruan Chengfang quickly discovered these black hot searches, and immediately contacted the public relations team to start removing the hot searches. Although the hot search was removed, Qin Zio actually lost some fans. Ruan Chengfang was very anxious, and immediately contacted Zhuheng Entertainment Company to hold an online meeting overnight, to change Qin Zio's image. At this moment, Qin Zio was also very irritable. After dinner, it's the guests' turn to draw the opposite sex who will act together tomorrow, and the female guests will choose. Qin Zio looked at the word Song Jinghui on the note and took a deep breath. There are a total of 8 male guests, and she only needs to draw one of Yu Zian, Raphael, and Yuan Mingqi. With a 3/8 probability, she didn't win? Song Jinghui was very happy. Zio, what's wrong? It's nothing. Qin Zio shook his head slightly. It's just that this trip to the desert island is a bit weird. I'm just worried. Song Jinghui also nodded. I heard that this place is haunted, but I don't know if it's true. I guess it's a gimmick prepared by the program team. Where in this world will there be ghosts? I'm going to rest, Qin Zio said. There is still a task tomorrow. Song Jinghui smiled. Okay, I'll take you upstairs. Downstairs, SI fucking, Odile, Kukaki Minjiao, and Fuzang are playing mahjong together. Yuning glanced at the screen. Is there someone missing? Yes, Yu Huixu nodded. Our Mr. Yu has gone out, let us cut the scene to him. In the next second, the camera changed, and the jungle under the night appeared. Yu Zian came out to look for fruit, and was going back to squeeze juice for SI fucking. Since he was a wanderer since he was a child, he is familiar with all kinds of weeds, vegetables, and fruits, which is very simple for him. After turning around a jungle, the light gradually brightened. Who? There was a loud shout. The photographer was obviously taken aback. Mr. Yu. Yu Zian raised her hand to signal them not to panic, while she took a step forward. What's going on? What's going on? Is there anyone else on the island? It can't be a gang organization. Yu, let's hurry up and ask Ching Ching to help. She punches one by one. Don't be afraid. Didn't the director say that there are people from the Great Xia Escort Bureau guarding it, and the Royal Guard? Don't worry. Footsteps sounded. As Yu Zian approached, the other party also rushed over. The two sides met each other. There were 7 or 8 young men in uniforms, with a word embroidered on their chests: Zero. Zero's investigator. I was scared to death. I thought I had encountered a robber. Hey, didn't Zero merge with T18? It is merged, but there are still 2 sets of uniforms. My lord, seeing Yu Zian's face clearly, the inspector was instantly pleasantly surprised. My lord, why are you here? Could it be? Is it to inspect their work? His Majesty? Your Majesty, who will always be exposed by his subordinates. Dragon Sparrow Sword, Kuk. It's the end of the month. Your Majesty asks for votes. The episodes are all refreshing and sweet. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 1001. Thinking of this, the chief inspector suddenly became excited. There are a total of 8 people in their team. They were assigned to a mission on this deserted island last month, and they haven't seen other living people for a long time. He was just promoted this year, and at the promotion meeting at the beginning of the year, he finally met Yu Zian, the Zero chief. Although Zero and T18 have been merged, they still have their own division of labor and are led by their respective chiefs. And right now, because Tan Jingmo has left here, and went to another small world to find Lu Qingning's soul fragments, T18 is naturally dominated by Sci-fi and Yuejian. But the investigators also know that Zero and T18 have long been a family, and there is no need to separate each other. It's just that when the task is out, they will compete with each other and strive for more resources. Since you are here, my lord, then the search chief just opened his mouth, and before he could say the words Miss Si, he felt a strong chill enveloping him. His voice stopped abruptly, trembling, not knowing why. Yu Xian looked at him calmly. Did you see the camera? The chief searcher was taken aback, then turned his head, only to find that there were two people behind Yu Xian. The two men looked at him dumbfoundedly with their cameras on their shoulders. The chief inspector was also a little confused. Look, I saw it, too. Yeah, Yu Xian was still calm. He said lightly, congratulations, you are on the live broadcast. Chief Inspector. He had no idea that when he called out the word master, the live broadcast room was silent for a moment, and then exploded. Master. This lord, is that what I think it means, the supreme ruler? I wanted to watch a live broadcast before going to bed to relax. Okay, I can't sleep now, you pay me for my sleep. I'm dizzy. Chief Zero is coming to Lianzhong. Do you know that you are so unprofessional? The Inspector General did not know. He touched his head and said tentatively, Master, what kind of live broadcast is this? The photographer finally came back to his senses, and said blankly, Love variety show. Chief Inspector. He seemed to have thought of something terrible, and took a few steps back in horror. I made a mistake, my lord, and I'm going to get lost. You must not send me to the extreme north. When he first joined Zero 3 years ago, he had already heard that even the two core members, Feng San and Zijiang, had been to the extreme north. Stop, Yu Xian said, go back. These 4 words were addressed to the two photographers. The photographer took the camera and ran away immediately. The chief inspector broke out in cold sweat. Master, Lord, this subordinate really didn't do it on purpose, please don't. Well, tell me. Yu Xian narrowed his eyes, and his voice was light, what are you looking for here? The searcher let out a long sigh of relief, and hurriedly said, it happened last month. A ship disappeared here. The headquarters sent us to check if there is anything similar to the world's space gate. Yu Xian glanced away. Go, let's talk about it. He clasped the chief searcher's shoulder, and the next moment, he returned to the villa. Sci-fi was already used to Yu Xian's elusiveness, so she put down her book and raised her eyebrows. Why did you go out and bring a subordinate back? The chief inspector has become numb, Miss Si. They ran into me on a mission here. Yu Xian put the picked fruit on the table, and said slowly, this deserted island does have weird things. You continue to talk about it. The chief inspector recounted all the information he had collected. It is initially suspected that there are earthbound spirits here. Well, according to what you said, there is indeed an earthbound spirit. Sci-fi was thoughtful. Don't be afraid, 5th senior brother and Minjiao are here, and the 10,000-year earthbound spirit is no match for them. The eternal continent and the earth run side by side, and after luck merges into one, a new spiritual realm can naturally be born. As powerful as Fuzang and Yuhuixiu, they are almost reaching the peak of the spirit realm. Yuan Mingqi and Koimu Minjiao are very talented, and they were also promoted to the spiritual realm at the beginning of this year. Let's leave this matter to them. Sci-fi stretched his waist, feeling a little regretful. I haven't recovered yet, or I'll be in it. Yu Xian held her wrist. Rufeng's eyes were deep. Ching, you can't do it. Sci-fi traced the whereabouts of Ye Wanlin and Lu Qingning with the power of gods and demons, and specially opened up several world passages to ensure that Tan Jingmo could go and return safely, which took too much energy. Now that she was recovering, he was very worried. I know, I know I fucking was very obedient, she blinked, I will never do anything. Uzion didn't let go of her hand, nor raised her head, go out by yourself. Chief Inspector. He opened the door unrepentantly, first carefully looked around to see if there were any cameras around, and then turned out through the window in the corridor. As soon as I arrived in the yard, I had a face-to-face meeting with the previous two photographers. The photographer felt that he had seen a ghost, and ran away with the camera on his shoulders. While running, Director Chi, it's not good, something happened. In just a few minutes, Weibo hot searches continued to collapse. The programmers worked overtime urgently, and finally repaired the software before 10 o'clock. Hashtag, Zero Chief hashtag. Hot search, burst. I saw the live broadcast, and the sound of the master's exit made me stupid. No wonder Yu's aura is so strong, and his eyes can scare his subordinates. I picked up the fairy show, Director Niu Dafa. However, even Director Chi himself knew what happened only after watching the trending searches. Director Chi, the assistant director, suddenly stood up, incoherently excited. This is simply unbelievable. Director Chi was very frantic, and wanted to cry without tears. He called Director Chin, Mr. Chin, why didn't you remind me that Mr. Yu is Chief Zero? You have to prepare me mentally, right? Director Chin fell silent. 3 seconds later, he said slowly, I shouldn't have given you all the medicine I had left. Director Chi. Director Chin roared, I should stay and eat by myself, and let you be sent to the ICU to lie down. Director Chi. Is this too much? Director Chi was worried, and he couldn't release the Panasonic with a sigh of relief, when he heard the sound coming from the radio equipment. Is the observer's seat? Our guests this time all have hidden identities. Yuejian flicked her hair, calmly, if you see any other hidden identities later, don't be too surprised, the existence is reasonable. Ye Yunying clasped her hands and smiled slightly, please wait and see. Sister, brother, don't scare me, I really don't need to be scared. Imagination is lacking, and I can't think of any more explosive hidden identities. You can't, I dare to directly think of Yu and declare that he is the reincarnation of Emperor Yin, and make me a high official. Everyone, prepare the medicine in advance, the time to test the heart has come. Hearing this, Fuzang was thoughtful, and she asked in a low voice, then can I fly up and let them see? Yuning glanced at her, no, what are you thinking? Wow! Nizai, Fuzang burst into tears, you actually killed me. Yuning. He took a deep breath, you are live broadcasting. Fuzang turned her head directly, facing the camera, and said sobbingly, I raised a ruthless villain, please scold him for me. Yunying directly raised his hand and pressed down on the camera, his voice was unquestionable, today's live broadcast is over. His fingers are slender, with white fingertips, reflected in the camera, highlighting a very strong tension. Before the netizens had time to comment, the live broadcast room went dark. Fuzang returned to her normal expression in a second, and she snorted, Nizai. Yuning got up and said condescendingly, Master. Fuzang paused, what's wrong? Once Yuning called her that, she knew something bad would happen. It's late at night, it's time to rest. Yuning said lightly, I have to get up early tomorrow to observe their love life. Fuzang refused to listen, stop talking nonsense here, I can stay awake for several years. She is the lord of the Palace of Longevity, and her retreat started in the millennium. As soon as she finished speaking, a tall and straight figure suddenly approached. Fuzang immediately yelled to stop, stop, I'll beat you if you go any further. Although it was true that she picked Yuning back because of his outstanding face, his talent was excellent. For the past 3 years, Yuning has cultivated in the space-time temple, and the time flow in the space-time temple is faster, and he has already approached the peak of the spiritual god realm. Master, a rebellious son, will send you up. Yunying smiled, I always respect my master, please don't disappoint my kindness. Fuzang. It's no wonder she believed him. The next day, morning. Kukaki Minjyu yawned and came down the stairs with hazy eyes. When Yamata no Orakai saw her, he immediately abandoned Yuan Mingchi and rushed over. Under Gen Mingchi's warning, Yamata no Orakai turned into an ordinary little snake. Wow! Such a cute little snake, as if it came out of an anime. The Dongzang people passed by silently and said, why do I think the snake looks like the Yamata no Orakai in our mythology? You Dongzang people are the second in middle school. 8 chi snakes have 8 heads and 8 tails. They are fierce and fierce. This little snake is so cute. How does it have anything to do with the ferocious god of misfortune in the myth? This little snake looks like I can slap it to death, but if it is Yamata no Orakai, I will crawl away immediately. Just at this time, Qinzaiwa and Hua Jingwen came out from the other side. Seeing the small snake as big as a palm, Hua Jingwen screamed, you are sick with bringing the snake here. Kukaki Minjyu put the Yamata no Orakai on the Tiankanjiun sword he was carrying on his back. Snakes are afraid, what are you doing here? Survival on a deserted island, snakes are the most ubiquitous creatures. Qinzaiwa held down the angry Hua Jingwen, and stepped forward, Miss Minjyu, what kind of snake is yours? It looks very cute, and I want to raise one too. Yamata no Orakai has cultivated into a real body. It already understands human nature and understands human language, so it can naturally understand Qinzaiwa's words. It rolled its eyes towards Qinzaiwa. Want to buy it? Can't even afford it? The tail of Yamata no Orakai was wrapped around Amazono's sword, hugging it happily. Kukaki Minjyu showed no expression. Unique, there is no market. What's the meaning? Invited you to our big summer show and gave you face? I don't know Zio's position in our internal entertainment, do you? Taking the initiative to talk to you is to think highly of you. Qinzaiwa's fans, don't be ridiculous, he is from Dongsang, do you know him? Do you still want to become the second Sci-fi, another star who does not restrain fans? Kukaki Minjyu didn't care. She walked to the kitchen door and chatted with Yuan Mingchi. Last night, Junior sister said that there are earthbound spirits here. Yuan Mingchi chuckled, when I landed on the island, I really felt the strong power of yin-yang and 5 elements. Kuchimu Minjyu still closed her eyes, the sword is shaking. Tiankanji Unjian is a divine sword born in the body of Yamata no Orakai, which can perceive all floating spirits, earthbound spirits, and other spirit bodies. The higher the strength of the spirit body, the greater the sword's reaction. You and I are in a group today, let's go out and have a look later. Yuan Mingchi hummed, don't get used to Bakey, it's used to camouflage. Yamata no Orakai started chattering angrily and complained to Kukaki Minjyu. After a while, other guests came out one after another. Si also came back from hunting, shaking the prey in his hand, for this morning's food. The vegetables here are growing very well, I picked more. Yesterday Zaiwa was cooking, so today is teacher Si, Hua Jingwen said intentionally or unintentionally, we haven't tried teacher C's cooking skills yet. That's a pity. Si shrugged, you may only see the kitchen being bombed. Hua Jingwen was taken aback. She didn't expect Si to say it so frankly. Yeah, Yuzian took the ingredients from Si hands naturally, for everyone's safety, she can't enter the kitchen, I'll just go. Everyone. So pet, oh my god, I have a guess, I guess Yu is on this show just to chase after Si. If I make a bold guess, maybe they are all married in secret. Laughs, Si fans are also big-faced, your sister is really good, and Mr. Yu is also the Zero Chief, your sister also has to climb high, you know? Look at each other, the tension between the eyes is so strong. I'll go too. Qinzaiwa stood up and said with a smile, Mr. Yu can't cook for so many people by himself. No need, Yuzian said lightly, you don't understand her taste. Qin Zio froze in place, feeling his face burn. Zio, the big kitchen is here. Song Jinghui helped her out. Mister, you only took Miss C's portion, so he must not be cooking for everyone. As soon as these words came out, Qin Zio became even more embarrassed. She responded quickly, took some ingredients, and went into the big kitchen. I fucking distributed the picked fruits to other people, and slipped into the small kitchen. Yu Zion knew it was her without looking up. Why did you come in? I fucking looked serious. You said, you are here to fall in love, you cook, of course I will help you. There's no need to help, but we really need to talk about it. He suddenly turned his head and covered her face with his hands. Then, he kissed her on the lips. Good morning. It's the end of the month, please ask Ching Ching and your majesty for monthly tickets. Let me talk about it again. There are no chapters outside the episode.